American Comics, Psychiatrist, Cut Who Wanda Gwen. Author, Simple One. Synopsis: Tsuyi traveled across the Marvel Universe and became a top psychological counselor. And the Awakening 9-5 system, as long as you go to and from get off work every day to catch fish and never work overtime, you can check in every day to get random rewards from Wanji. Spider-Gwen, Scarlet Witch, Bring Them All, Fishing for a Day, Phoenix Force, Endless Milk Tea, 7 Days of Fishing, Thinking Superman Template, Unlimited Popping Candy, Touching Fish Friend Days, The Heart of the Universe, The Controller of Reality. Scarlet Witch, Sue, Without You, I have no meaning in living. Spider-Gwen, Sue, Thank you for letting me know true justice. Sorcerer Supreme, Without Sue, I would not be where I am today. And after Tsuyi got the ability, he felt more at ease. As for the destruction of the Earth and the restart of the universe, Tsuyi, it doesn't matter, enlighten me first, then act. 001. 9-5 System. Sorcerer Supreme Steven. Marvel Universe. Today is April 4, 2015, Saturday, and the weather is fine. This is New York. After the devastation and post-war reconstruction of the Chitauri civilization, the city seems to have been renovated. Next to Central Park in Manhattan, the North Building. Inside a separate floor marked for psychiatrists. There is a medical banquet tonight. Sue, are you going? The future Sorcerer Supreme, the current top surgeon, Stephen Strange, he was asking a young man who looked younger but was more handsome than him. Heartilda. The young man was lying on the armchair, with his hands on his head, watching the TV on the wall and playing Hatch, and then replied calmly. No, the young man's name is Tsuyi. He traveled here about a year ago, and also awakening a system called Morning 9-5 System. The general meaning of this system is, as long as you go to work every day to get off work, do what you have to do, and fish when you have nothing to do. But you can't work overtime. He can sign into Wanji rewards every day after get off work. This year, he signed up for a bunch of rewards, but most of the rewards are spicy chicken. For example, endless bottles of milk tea, inexhaustible packs of toilet paper, unlimited refillable beer mugs, never stop picking eggs, etc. There is only one most hanging reward, and that is Phoenix Force Middle Shard. As the embodiment of life and emotion in the original universe, Phoenix Force possesses the ultimate power of life and destruction at the same time. And it also has the highest level of perception and intuition, which allows the owner to perceive everything. Even if what Tsuyi owns is fragments, he can perceive the other party's emotions, mentality, train of thought, ideas, etc. Even everything that has happened, is happening, and will happen. But that would require more fragments, and Tsuyi has only signed up for one so far. So in order to better work from 9 to 5 in the morning and not clock in overtime, Tsuyi became a psychiatrist through this ability. Later, he became the top psychiatrist in the United States. At the same time, he also became good friends with the opposite Stephen Strange, the future Sorcerer Supreme. Not only that, Bruce Banner, aka Hulk, was a former client of his. All right. After being rejected, Stephen Strange was depressed, but he knew that it was useless to persuade Tsuyi. He had to go if he wanted to, unless the conditions you say are very attractive. And Tsuyi looked at his watch. It was 4:30 in the afternoon. So he said to Stephen, in half an hour, I have to get off work. If you want to sign in and clock in, you have to be after get off work. The system will never allow any overtime behavior. At 5 o'clock, you must leave this office. So Tsuyi is very strict with the off-duty time. Leave work at 5 p.m., closed before 5:01 p.m. Not even 1 point more. At the moment, even if there is a Heart of the Universe in the office, he will think it is fake. As for after get off work, that time was freely arranged by Tsuyi. Not going to the banquet is just that he simply doesn't want to go. There are all kinds of people boasting to each other, which is not interesting. Might as well go home and play games, or find a place to see beautiful women. Seeing that time is running out, Stephen Strange quickly thought about it, looked at Tsuyi who was watching TV and said, listen to me, this time is not only a banquet, but also an exchange meeting. At that time, there will be not only doctor tutors, but also tutor assistant teams and university teams. Well said. But Tsuyi remained indifferent. What's wrong with the group? Can the group have a bad reputation? Looking at Tsuyi, he still couldn't get excited. Stephen said again, I mean, there are all kinds of college girls and assistants in various groups, and they're supposed to adore you. After speaking, Stephen raised his eyebrows at Tsuyi. If you want to say this. Tsuyi raised his wrist to check the time on the watch. Then he picked up the empty, unwritten plan and itinerary, looked at it, and then replied, then I seem to be quite free tonight. After speaking, Tsuyi smiled. Stephen also smiled at the same time. After all, before Stephen's accident, he was still very humorous. As long as it's not undergoing surgery and in front of outsiders, he even loves to laugh. He only became humorous after he became Sorcerer Supreme. Come to think of it, he's in his 20s and 30s, drives a Lamborghini, has good looks and a reputation for technology, and is definitely interested in good-looking women too. And Tsuyi is no exception. All men. What to put on. After deciding on the itinerary, Stephen perked up, and he got up to pour himself a glass of water. Then he looked at Su-Yi's office, which was also the winning room. In Su-Yi's small house, all kinds of luxurious decorations, furniture, and collections abound. If all of them are sold off, the total value is estimated to be as high as tens of millions of dollars. But none of these were bought by him. They were all sent by customers. So it can be seen from these how much energy and popularity does Su-Yi have in tutoring this industry in his heart. This is also one of the reasons why Steven admires Su-Yi and makes friends with Su-Yi. At a young age, he can achieve achievements that others cannot look up to in his entire life. Heck, just like him. 002. Sokovia War. Gwent Stacy. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Su-Yi thought silently. Sign in. Successful check-in. Get reward. Super Madden jumping candy x 10 packs. Got used to. Next moment, with the click of the door lock, Su-Yi and Steven appeared outside the door together. Before taking the elevator to the underground garage, Steven looked back at the office door, and then at the time on the watch. Have you always been this punctual? Definitely. Su-Yi glanced at him. Even if the Earth is destroyed at 4:30, I will try my best to leave work on time at 5 o'clock. Steven raised his eyebrows. Then how did you live another half hour? Jingle tilde. At this time, as the elevator door opened, Su-Yi walked in and turned to look at Steven. With my will to never leave early and never be late. Woo tilde, woo tilde, woo tilde. With the roar of the engine, a black Lamborghini pulled out from the underground garage of the northern building. Then go straight to the destination of the banquet. This car belongs to Steven. As the top surgeon in the world, and also a doctor in the United States, buying a Lamborghini was easy for Steven. As long as you have the ability, then you can earn rice gold in this free land, for better or worse. And Su-Yi just didn't drive his car. It's because people want a car when they don't have a car, but they don't bother to drive when they have a car, especially when Su-Yi's current assets can buy any mass-produced car in the world. I don't even want to open it. Lamborghini drove unimpeded all the way on the road. Steven held the steering wheel with his right hand, and said to Su-Yi while leaning on the car window with his left, "If you don't drive your Ferrari, the dust on the car will be thicker than pizza." And Su-Yi was wearing sunglasses, and complained lazily on the car seat. "First of all, my car is parked in a VIP position and it is wiped down every day. Secondly, can you change your car seat? It's too uncomfortable to sit on." To be honest, Lamborghini seats just aren't that comfortable. But ergonomics is still qualified. "It will make you feel very competitive." Facing Su-Yi's question, Steven shook his head. "No, I won't change it." Changing it is like riding a motorcycle without adding a rear seat and pedals, or driving an F1 car with an air conditioner. Well, look at Steven still knows sports cars. It is not called a sports car because it is comfortable to sit on. In the eyes of sports car designers, performance is everything. Can a sports car be called a sports car without physical exertion? That's all. Steven drove his Lamborghini along with Su-Yi whining. But suddenly, a piece of breaking news rang through the smart system in the car. At 5:20 p.m. New York time, the Avengers are at war with unknown terrorist forces in Sokovia, including Iron Man and Captain America. The war led to the nationalization of Sokovia as an island and continued to lift off, and it is now at an altitude of several thousand meters. How should the Avengers respond to this crisis? How can they ensure the safety of local residents' property? Good guy. The news first name two important and well-known figures, then start asking questions. And the question is about property. What about life? Does life not ask? And isn't this plot the Ultron era of Avengers Alliance 2? That is, the Avengers are playing in Sokovia. Then only Wanda's brother, Quicksilver, quaked. In the end, it left Wanda with a lot of, well, not a big trauma. Anyway, it's all there is, although I haven't mentioned it later. At the moment, when Steven heard the news, he shook his head helplessly and said, "This world is too messy." I even thought about how much longer I could do surgery. Good question. Su-Yi calculated the time and said in a joking tone, "Maybe it will be less than this year." Steven glanced at Su-Yi after hearing this. "Then your career as a psychiatrist seems to be getting better and better." It's true. After all, there have been more and more people suffering from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, recently. Fax quid. Tell Steven about the breakout. The two of them no longer cared about what was on the radio. All the way to the place of the banquet. As for the matter of Sokovia, Su-Yi will definitely not interfere. He is going to dry chicken feathers. It's no good to take it, and if you expose your strength, you will get into trouble. For Su-Yi, he just needs to make sure he's doing well. Plus best friends at most. To quote Wanda Gwen, no matter how bad the world is, I can still protect myself, my family and friends. Others, as long as the Earth is not gone, don't care about him, who stipulated that those who have ability must save the world. Who? He is just an ordinary psychiatrist with a bit of a personality. Well, add at most two hobbies: bad show and beautiful women. 15 minutes later, following Steven parked the Lamborghini at the gate of the banquet, handed over the key to the parking attendant, and then got out of the car with Su-Yi. Everyone present recognized his Lamborghini at a glance. Then I saw the more handsome Su-Yi getting out of the car. Everyone hurriedly gathered around to ask their relatives. Some say hello, some take pictures, some want to discuss and so on. Suyi didn't like this kind of environment, but in the crowd, relying on his excellent memory, he saw an impressive figure. She has a young, pretty face and silky golden hair. She follows a team. She is Gwen Stacy. 003. Spider-Gwen. Multi-universe impact. Gwen Stacy. There are many versions of her, so Suyi is not sure which Gwen she is. But no matter what, this Gwen Stacy is prettier than in the anime. The face shape, figure, and skin look like they came out of a 3D animation, modeled perfectly. And Gwen at the moment definitely followed the crowd watching Suyi and Steven. But when she found out that Suyi was actually looking at her, Gwen stared with small eyes, a little flustered and at a loss. And Suyi smiled at her from the air, then turned around and dealt with the surrounding crowd with Steven first, and then entered the banquet hall. The hall is resplendent and magnificent. In other words, the decoration is really good. Many of them chatted to each other in suits. It's here. No matter what kind of doctor you are, you can be admired. As long as you have strength, as long as you have fame. For example, although Suyi is a psychiatrist, he is also the first person here. As long as you are awesome, you can be a veterinary doctor. So when he and Steven entered the hall, immediately, someone greeted him. The two also responded with a smile. But Steven whispered in Suyi's ear, "Well, I'm starting to hate this environment too. Let's have a quick drink or two, and then we'll walk around." Suyi nodded. That's exactly what he meant. What are you talking about with these old men? It is true to go around and wait for my sister and beautiful women to come and talk. Ever since Suyi and Steven picked up champagne glasses from the banquet table. Then I drank a few sips with some famous people. Hi, Sue. How's it going? Suyi, very good. I have a good life every day. Sue, I have a few clients who need psychological counseling, and I will recommend them to you. Suyi, well, here is my business card, you can give it to them. But you have to tell them that my client plan is already scheduled for the end of the year. Sue, once you come, all the beautiful women are attracted to you. Suyi, that can't be helped. Blame me, Tilda. After chatting casually, Steven and Suyi reunited. How do you say it? Steven asked as he put down his champagne glass. I think so. Suyi looked at the beauties present, and he showed that he was interested in only one person. So, act alone? Steven nodded. We have the same idea. It's still the same. After speaking, the two broke up on the spot. The old way refers to gathering after the event. Acting alone means that you have found your favorite type. The fact that the two act together shows that there is no one I like. So the two strolled casually together and had a good time. After separating from Steven, Suyi picked up a glass of champagne again, and at the same time swept it away with spiritual power. He knew where Gwen was right away, and Gwen was still in the crowd looking at herself from time to time. After knowing the location, Suyi took the wine glass and walked to a position 10 meters away from Gwen and stopped. Then take 2 bites of fruit or something and treat it as a person. There was a crowd between them, but Gwen, who had been looking at Suyi from time to time, would definitely be able to spot him. And after finding out that there was no one around Suyi, Gwen looked around, but no one stepped forward. So she took the wine glass, walked around the crowd and came in front of Suyi, and said a little nervously, "Hi, my name is Gwen Stacy." Seeing that Gwen finally stepped forward, Suyi raised his glass and touched her with a smile. You can call me Suyi, or you can call me a psychologist. The first step in knowing is contact. Once you say hello and chat, it's easy to get to know each other. So when Suyi chatted with Gwen for a while, he found out. Suyi said that she was very young, but Gwen explained that she was still a high school student and was working as an assistant in a laboratory. At the same time, while also playing drummer in a band called Mary Jane's. After hearing that Gwen also has an interest in being a drummer in a band, Sumu immediately realized which Gwen this is. He knew 2 things instantly. 1. It's Spider-Gwen. It's the ghost spider in the black and white pink hooded bodysuit. 2. This world may have been affected by the multi-universe, otherwise the normal universe he is in should not have a female spider, it should be Peter Parker. Will there be 2 Spider-Man in this universe, or only female Spider-Man? Suyi thought about it within 0.1 second at this moment, then draw conclusions. Nothing to worry about Tilda, whether he has 2 Spider-Men or not. Anyway, Spider-Woman Gwen is right in front of her eyes. As long as she is there, the others don't matter, and she is not a beauty. Now think of it. No wonder Suyi thought this Gwen was so beautiful at first sight. It turned out not to be the version of Gwen, but the golden legend Gwen. That counts time. This Gwen was about to be bitten by a spider, almost the end of the Avengers Alliance too, just within a month. Next, Suyi and Gwen chatted more and more happily. Gwen is a top student. I am also very curious about Suyi's psychological counseling ability. So that's what we were talking about. Gwen, Sue, so many people who have been counseled by you have admired you afterward. How do they feel after being counseled? Suyi, this can't be described in words. Maybe you have to try it yourself. For your sake, I can spare time for you to jump into the queue for counseling. Gwen, really? Great. So how do you coach them psychologically? What does it feel like? Suyi, well, empathy, hearing and asking, and a little love. Gwen, haha ? Sue, You are so funny. That's all. In laughter. Su-yi is very happy to chat with the beauty for a long time. And Gwen was also impressed by Su-yi's knowledge and said that he will definitely come when he is free. 004 Phoenix Force Fragments. Avengers 2 is over. In the laughter of Su-yi and Gwen. At the moment Sokovia country has been reported in name only, because the superhero team has already finished. In the end, the superheroes won. But the price is, Sokovia exploded. There is no hair left. Hundreds of thousands of residents were killed or injured in the town, including all inherent properties cleared. Still no hair. And these Sokovia residents, oh no, what about the refugees? And that's it. Wanda's brother is gone too. At the moment, Scarlet Witch Wanda fell limply on the ground. Tears slid down her cheeks, her expression a bit broken. She couldn't believe that her brother had disappeared along with Sokovia. I can't even bury myself, let alone one last look. At the moment, all the superheroes stood not far behind Wanda and looked at her. Everyone frowned slightly. Natasha Romanoff is also a little uncomfortable. I'm very sorry. At this time, Hawkeye walked to Wanda's side and apologized. Your brother died to save me. I feel very guilty. Wanda didn't look up, didn't move. She said in a sad tone, you feel guilty? Can my brother be resurrected? Suddenly, the scene became very quiet. It must be hard to feel the loss of a loved one. Papa. At this time, the good old Captain America clapped his hands and stepped forward to say, cheer up Avengers. We have more to do. There are more difficult things waiting for us. Captain America finished. Everyone nodded and sighed. Then start acting on your own. And Wanda shed tears on the spot until the end, then closed her eyes and wiped away her tears and left. Afterwards, after experiencing Captain America 2's Insight program, that is, after the Washington incident in which 3 aircraft carriers attacked each other and caused huge damage to the city, SHIELD has actually almost faded out of mainstream view. Instead, it is the Avengers base established solely by Tony Stark, and the logo was replaced with a capital A logo in that circle. But this has nothing to do with Su-yi, because after he exchanged contact information with Gwen, Gwen was called away by the team. New York. Banquet of Medicine. After exchanging contact information with the very happy Gwen, Su-yi just watched Gwen leave. Here comes Steven again. Steven took the wine glass and came to Su-yi's side, and looked at Gwen who was going away. Is she an adult? Graduating high school soon. Oh, then you don't have to go to jail. Middle finger. It was actually a joke. The United States has different regulations for this thing in each state. But basically after high school, it is not illegal. And the women here look mature. There are still very few girls who look young and beautiful like Gwen. That's why Steven made such jokes. But in fact, he also praised Gwen for being beautiful and young at the same time. Just said it in another way. Why, you came back after shopping again? So you looked at Steven and asked. It's still the same. Steven shook his head. I feel like Christine is the best future object. Christine, with Palmer added to her full name. She is also a surgical trauma doctor. And Steven is a colleague and has a good relationship and in a state of being more than a friend and less than a lover. It's just one step away. Su-yi nodded. Then take it early. Steven thought for a while, sighed, and turned to attack Su-yi again. Then why are there so many ladies looking for you? Why haven't I seen you bring one into your car? Su-yi drove a Ferrari before. The fiery red appearance of the car, coupled with Su-yi's handsome face and status, made many girls want to get in his car. But don't you understand, when you get in the car, you can just drive the car home and start shooting. Steven understood. As long as Su-yi thinks, he can immediately become a playboy, just like she Stark, beautiful or not. But Su-yi didn't bring any of them back. He didn't even drive the car behind, and just came in his car. Steven was still a little confused about this. Su-yi likes beautiful women, but he doesn't shoot at any of them. Why? Could it be? At the moment by Phoenix Force, Su-yi has already felt Steven's inner thoughts. He was wondering if he could do it. If you think about it one step further, your Lamborghini will sink into the ocean tonight. Okay, I'm sorry. Steven immediately begged for mercy, and shook his head inside. I have to admire, Sue, your psychological ability is really amazing. Joke. Do you understand the gold content of Phoenix Force? The Phoenix Force in its full glory, rather than its fragments, can beat the 5 gods. Okay, and this ability has only 2 disadvantages. One is the need to collect fragments, otherwise the power will have an upper limit. For example, Su-yi can only be considered a sub-father or level godfather now. But as long as he collects more Phoenix fragments, he will be promoted to level single universe, or even multi-universe level, super multi-universe level, etc. 2 is that this ability has the self-will of the Phoenix, so the owner of the ability will be affected to a greater or lesser extent. And Su-yi was also affected at the beginning. It's just a group of annoying phoenixes flying around in his spiritual world. And it's easy to get upset and run amok. But fortunately, Su-yi got another powerful ability in the future check-in. Purification. Simply put, it erases any side effects that exist. At first Su-yi thought it was weak, but then I discovered that it turned out to be the highest ability. As long as you feel uncomfortable and do not like the existence, You can purify it through this ability, and the remaining will of this Phoenix fragment was purified by this ability. At the same time, there are more abilities and props with large side effects in the Marvel Universe, then this ability becomes more practical. 005. Scarlet Witch Wanda. They are all my wings. That's all. Wait until the banquet is almost over. Suyi and Steven were ready to leave first. The two sat in a black Lamborghini. Steven sent Suyi back first. After the two chatted in the car, only then did Steven finally understand why Suyi didn't bring the woman home. So, you only flirt, but you don't take them home to applaud because you don't really like them, but just for the joy of your mood? Steven understood but not fully. He spread his hands, with a question mark on his face. Why? What's the difference? Definitely there is a difference. Suyi leaned back on the chair and said lightly, I'm not a promiscuous boy like Tony Stark. I like beauties, but I only love beauties I love. Can you tell the difference between love and liking? Steven was driving the car, shaking his head. I don't really understand. Let's put it this way. Suyi gave an example. Liking is only one-sided. For example, you like your car, but when you want to change it, you sell it and like the next one. But love is not. Love is selfish. Or for example your car, if you love it very much, even if you want to buy a second car, you will not sell this car. Do you understand now? That's it. Steven understood on the spot. He's smart, not a fool. Facing Suyi's explanation. After pondering for a while, Steven nodded seriously and agreed. You're right, I understand a lot. Okay, sensible. Suyi smiled. Talking to smart people is easy. Enlighten quickly, no need to repeat explanations. But the next moment, Steven asked back. So, if you love all the cars you buy, does that mean you will own a lot of cars? No words were spoken. Words never leave people. Suyi glanced at him and smiled. You caught me, Steven. At last, Steven sent Suyi back to the North Mansion. Sleep tight, be safe. After the two said goodbye to each other, Steven stepped on the gas pedal. Lamborghini made a whining sound and disappeared from his vision. And Suyi's home is still in the building. Only this time it's not the original lair, but the top layer. Yes, not just the penultimate office floor. The top floor was also bought by Suyi. Arrive at the top floor of the building with the sound of the elevator. Suyi entered the room and took off his shoes. Then he waved his hand. The next moment, the suit on his body changed into home clothes. Then he waved his hand, and a cup of milk tea appeared in his empty hand. Yes, and never finished. Go to the floor-to-ceiling windows. Suyi looked at the night view of the entire Manhattan. At the moment, directly opposite him, about a few kilometers away in a straight line, is the reconstructed Stark building. A huge A-shaped logo on the building is very conspicuous. That's the Avengers logo. Yes, the North building where Suyi is currently located is just north of Central Park in Manhattan. The Stark building is to the south, so the two buildings are only separated by a few kilometers of Central Park. And west of Central Park, there is also an Osborn building. To put it bluntly, it's just a matter of moving the holy place of Sorcerer Supreme to the east side of Central Park. Don't ask why you think that way, because playing Mahjong 3 lacks 1. Suck. After taking a last sip of milk tea, Suyi threw the milk tea back into the space, then stretched. Go back to the room and play games. Well, it's a bit lonely, but this life is coming to an end. At that time, more people will be able to play games together. Late night on the first day, in the Avengers base, Wanda lay on the bed in the base room for a long time unable to fall asleep. Her original home, Sokovia, has been destroyed. Now there is only one big hole when I go back, and with her combat strength, the Avengers will definitely not give up the invitation. So it's still semi-compulsive. Otherwise, Nick Fury and Captain America absolutely don't want to see you purely becoming a free man. So after Wanda joined the Avengers, she can only live here for the time being, or get the activity funds and go to rent a house outside. But no matter where you rent, you will no longer feel like home. That night, Wanda was so tired that she fell asleep without realizing it. The next day, Wanda was still depressed. It doesn't matter who comes, including Natasha Romanoff. On the third day, Vision tried to reason with Wanda. But Wanda at the moment was a question of reason, so he left voluntarily. That's all. 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 1 week. Wanda's expression still hasn't recovered, and the criticism against superhero on the internet is getting louder and louder. Crowd claims that superhero will only cause more damage. This made it even more difficult for Wanda, who had nothing to do but watch the news. What am I doing? How should I do? Future Avengers. Still necessary? 006. Scarlet Witch of Despair. Go see a psychiatrist. Half a month later, Wanda followed everyone on their first mission, to search for and arrest a group of terrorist organizations. Wanda went. Avengers members including Captain America, Hawkeye, Natasha Romanoff, and Falcon also went there at the same time. It's afternoon. When the task is about to end, in order to save Captain America, Wanda uses origin magic power but misses, throwing an uncontrollable bomb high into the sky, then blow up all the people on the next floor. The people inside were crying and shouting, dying and hurting. Wanda felt huge amounts of regret in an instant. Guilt filled her heart. It also made her more desperate. She is so devastated when she loses a family member, but now that she makes such a mistake, more people will die. Captain America took a look at Wanda, then rushed into the building to save her. At the moment Wanda looks at the hands, a thought of not using any power appeared in her heart. I see the status of Wanda. Natasha Romanoff wanted to comfort Wanda first. Natasha Romanoff, quick, help. But Captain America's call made her bypass Wanda to rescue the people in the building. Afterwards, Wanda returns to the Avengers base distraught, and another day or two after that, Wanda didn't even get any better for a week. She doesn't even say more than 10 sentences a day. It's nothing more than an answer. Many days passed by. The outcry against superhero on the internet is even louder. But there are also sensible people who speak out. We don't need superheroes. It's these superheroes that must be controlled by humans. Otherwise our property safety will even be destroyed by superheroes. Facing violence on the internet, Wanda began to have depression-like symptoms. And she bought clothes with hoods only. Any task to go out, Wanda will now wear a hood. But that's not okay. Someday, Tony Stark folded his arms, watching Wanda's state and thinking for a long time. Natasha Romanoff came to Tony's side and watched Wanda's state together. She needs to change, otherwise this spirit and mentality will collapse one day. Hawkeye, who came over, agreed after listening. Yes, if this continues, she may find a remote place to live alone, or even leave Avengers on her own initiative. They are all agents. We all know what that state of mind feels like. And Tony still had his hands in his arms. He thought for a while and stroked his chin. Then it dawned on me. Correct. As soon as the idea came out, Tony went back to the car and pulled out a business card. Then come to Wanda's seat, put the business card on the seat, and push it to Wanda. Okay, Miss Wanda Maximoff, I'll give you a sum of money for free. You can talk to the person on the business card. It's just a trip to relax. I was recommended by many people to find him before. I don't think I need it, but you do. They all say he is the best psychiatrist in the world. I think you can try it. Face Iron Man. Tony's recommendation. Wanda raised her head and looked at the business card on the seat. Yisu. Address, New York Manhattan Northern Building 20 floor. This business card is very compelling. It is a thin slice of wood that is fragrant yet tough. Suyi's name and office address are engraved on it. But there is no business introduction on the business card. There is no contact information and so on. Why? The answer is simple. Because of Suyi's popularity, there will be endless calls if he leaves a phone number, so his calls will only be given to those who come to him. Then look at it and decide whether to give it or not. For example, if you have money, save trouble or look beautiful, you will give it, and vice versa. Wanda looked at the address on the business card. Suddenly, the origin magic power in her body seemed to be telling her, go tilde. So Wanda accepted the business card and nodded in agreement. I'll be there, just for a few days. Cool tilde. Hearing this, Tony left directly, but not before he was ready to drive home. Natasha Romanoff and Hawkeye chased it out and came to Tony's car window and asked, "What card did you give her?" Tony had just put on his sunglasses, so he reached out and pulled them down a bit. "Didn't I say it? The business card of a top psychiatrist. I know him. I've met him, a guy who's about as handsome as me, but not really a friend. His word of mouth and reputation are so good that it makes people look like a liar. But admittedly, I let Friday collect the data. The result is that he is really good. The success rate of psychological counseling is as high as 99%. The remaining 1% is because he doesn't want to be cancelled and kicked out. As a master of high society, Tony definitely knew about Suyi's fame, and the two had met. But Suyi didn't intend to get too familiar with Tony. It's just a man. It's not as important as working from 9 to 5. And Tony also thinks that Suyi is too handsome, even more handsome than him. Must all the girls who go out to play together be effed up by Suyi? So Tony didn't know Suyi too well. Yes, it is like that. One doesn't matter. One thinks the other person is more handsome than himself. The last two had no intention of getting to know each other. But Natasha Romanoff doesn't quite mean that. What? Natasha Romanoff and Hawkeye exchanged glances. Hawkeye didn't understand, so he asked back, "You let a superhero with huge magical powers receive psychological counseling from an ordinary person?" 007. Arrival of Spider-Gwen. Check in multiple times. In fact, it's not just Hawkeye who thinks so. Most people probably thought the same when they heard it. It's as if you're asking an anxious president to ask ordinary people what to do. But the reality is far worse than that. Because Wanda is a witch. That's a whole other level of problem. But you let a normal psychiatrist to counsel. Can this work? Natasha Romanoff has no comments. But she didn't think it would work either. Main thing, she knows about psychological counseling. After all, Natasha Romanoff had spiritual training. She knew exactly what it was. As for counseling, the most important thing is to rely on yourself, not a psychologist. Doctors are just assistants. If you can't get over it yourself, it's useless. But as soon as Tony puts on the sunglasses, no one loves them, and starts the engine of the sports car directly. How do I know? I haven't tried it. It doesn't matter whether it's good or bad. At least it might be useful. Just treat it as a vacation for her. understand? After speaking, Tony hit the gas pedal. The sports car whizzed away. Only Natasha Romanoff and Hawkeye were left in place. The two looked at each other. All right, it can only be this way. The screen returns to the back building. During these 10 days and a half months, Suyi signed in on time every day, but it was all rubbish. For example, Korean Shinchan Complete Comic Book, Queenist's Little Leather Whip, Super Delicious Milk Tea Formula, Delicious Egg Fried Rice X10. Take a look. Which is useful? How delicious can it be so delicious? What is that whip for? Well, in some senses, there are a few that are useful, but not much. At the same time, Suyi also received some customers these days, but it was all done with simple guidance by him. Suyi leaned comfortably on the recliner. He has read all the news these days. Avengers is being opposed by citizens like a plot, but not entirely against it. Instead, he denounced the superheroes for being too free. If such a superhero is so free, isn't it a mobile super demolition team? So society and the top level of the state are ready to propose. Any actions of the superheroes must be notified and approved in advance. Definitely. This is currently only a proposal. It's hard to say when it will be on the table, and Suyi remembered that this was a plot that would only appear in the Civil War of Captain America 3. That's still some time from now. The time came in the afternoon. Suyi finally welcomed a client he was very satisfied with. Gwen. Oh no, maybe it's going to be Spider-Gwen. Ding. With the closing of the elevator doors, wearing a jacket and a hood, Gwen came to Suyi's office door. She looked at Suyi's door, still hesitating whether to go in or not. Her father was the commissioner of the New York Police Department. Suyi's psychological counseling is very expensive, and although Gwen can't afford it, it is still very painful. But now she has a problem. Is it really okay to find Suyi instead of her father? Or, can Suyi really help her? Honestly, Gwen didn't know why she came here. She felt the bite from the radioactive spider. Logically speaking, she should go to the hospital now, then check whether there is something wrong with your genes and body. But she just felt like she should have come here first. How to say, feel, sixth sense, a woman's intuition? So go in now or leave? Gwen is in hesitation. Come in, Gwen. But during Gwen's hesitation, Suyi's voice came from the door. Gwen, who was deep in thought, was taken aback. But he could only push open the door and said in embarrassment, Sue, how did you know I'm here? Suyi didn't speak, but glanced at the camera at the door. Gwen covered her face in embarrassment. Sit down. Suyi asked Gwen to sit down, then gave her a bottle of milk tea. He could never run out of this thing in his space, so it might as well be used to entertain female high school students. What's this? Gwen looked at the milk tea very curiously. Milk tea, sweet. Suyi motioned to drink it directly. You should like it. Gwen took the milk tea, then opened it and take a small taste. At the moment of milk tea entrance, her beautiful eyes lit up, as if stars were popping out. Then took a big swig. Seeing it, Suyi nodded firmly. He just observed the other party's character, habits, way of speaking and so on. This character design is definitely Spider-Gwen. Otherwise, ordinary Gwen does not have this kind of personality, and should be calmer. But definitely not as lively as this Gwen. Only Spider-Gwen has become very lively, very smart, and very homely. It's like a female version of Peter Parker. Delicious. After drinking a few sips of milk tea, Gwen gave it top marks, and it's all in a better mood. Again, this is actually physiological. Sweets release dopamine in your body, making you happier. In this way, the effect of Suyi's psychological counseling will be better. Efficiency and props, you know. And wait until Gwen drank the milk tea. Suyi crossed his fingers, pointed his thumbs together, and asked Gwen, I feel your anxiety and uneasiness from your eyes and expression. It seems like something is bothering you, and it's happening to you. You're struggling with this and looking for a solution. Oh no, how to live normally, right? As soon as Suyi finished speaking, Gwen froze. There was both surprise and panic in her eyes. At her age, there is no such thing as a city, unless it is a little fresh meat playing facial paralysis, otherwise any state of mind will appear on her face. 008. Enlighten Spider-Gwen. Photo with Hulk, facing Suyi's words that directly hit the bullseye. Gwen seemed to have been genuinely hurt, and was a little overwhelmed. She pinched her fingers, looked away with her beautiful eyes, and pursed her pink lips, but she didn't know how to answer. So you could tell from her expression that she was worried. So he leaned back in his chair, then opened the drawer. A photo was taken out of it. Then pushed it to Gwen. Gwen took the photo and was immediately surprised. It turns out that the photo is a group photo of Suyi and Hulk, one of the superheroes. Mind you, it's Hulk, not Dr. Banner. The current Avengers, Age of Ultron era. The citizens of the United States know that there is a Green Titan in the superhero who is covered in green, and he has a bad temper. Not long ago, he fought with Iron Man and blew up a building, and it seems to be gone now. But overall from the photos, Hulk recognized Suyi very much. This is the approval of superhero. You should know him. So what I want to tell you is that a psychiatrist will never give any information about a client to a third person. Your news, only you and I know. And no matter what, The news will not come from me. Suyi's voice came from behind the photo. Gwen raised her eyes, looked at Suyi, and bit her lips with her white teeth. She finally put down the picture and started talking. I have a friend. She suddenly had a little ability. Her body became very flexible, and her strength also increased. Should she go for a physical examination? Will she be studied? Or should she be doing good? Wouldn't that emphasize justice too much? So she doesn't know what to do now? Or then, hear about this friend of Gwen. Suyi almost couldn't hold back his laughter, but he still pretended not to know, because only 2 words were revealed between the lines of Gwen. Confused. But Gwen was a little different when he was confused. Your friend is at a loss, and is at a loss for the future. It's like your friend suddenly picked up a sum of money, suddenly obtained an ability, but she wants to use the money in hesitation. Can she use it, and how to use it? Speaking of which, Gwen quickly nodded in agreement, saying that she was right. And Suyi also nodded to indicate that there is no problem. Then take out a piece of writing, a pen, write and draw. 10 seconds later, Suyi showed the paper to Gwen. The top of the paper is like a children's fairy tale, but the content is that a person is swinging on a swing in a busy city. So my advice is, let your friend take the money and go home and sleep. When you sleep until you find out that the money is really yours and no one asks you for it, you are thinking about how and where to use the money. Picking up the money, suddenly gaining the ability, is a phased problem, not a decisive one. Or you can use the leftovers of this money to look at the world first, and then make a decision after seeing it, so that even if the money is recovered, you can make up for it. Ability is not mentioned at all. Every word is ability. That's the beauty of examples. Gwen was already smart, and even smarter after having ability. So she can understand that what Suyi said is the same from the perspective of suddenly gaining ability. This is why many old sayings are still applicable in modern times, because its essence is right. Gwen gradually realized. It turns out, if you get money, ability, suddenly, the best solution is to live at home first. I'm thinking about how to use it when it's stable. But Suyi thought for a while, then told Gwen with a smile. I have heard a song, and its lyrics fit the previous scene very well. What lyrics? Gwen was very curious. If one day I become rich, my first choice is not to travel around the world, but to lie on the biggest and softest sofa in the world, eat and sleep for a year. Finish the lyrics. Both Suyi and Gwen laughed, and they laughed happily. Gwen reached out to straighten the loose blonde hair around her ears. Then he said in agreement. Then I'll tell my friend. Tell her that the best psychiatrist in the world advises her to be a home girl first, and turn into a fat pig after eating and sleeping. I didn't say that. Suyi leaned back on the chair, stretched out his hand to drink his own milk tea and said, that's what the lyrics say. I don't care Tilda, the meaning is the same anyway. Gwen tilted her head, just when she was about to say something. Beeping bell. Tilda. Her cell phone rang. Gwen picked up the phone to call, then checked the time, and immediately apologized to Suyi. Sorry, I forgot the band rehearsal time. My friends are waiting for me, I have to hurry. Suyi nodded. Hurry up, don't let your friends wait for you for too long, or it will be very rude. Gwen quickly picked up her cyan packet, took the unfinished milk tea on the table and left. But the moment the door closes, Gwen turned around and showed her head, and said to Suyi wink, wink, with her left eye. Thank you, Mr. Suyi, you have done my friend a big favor. Tilda. You're welcome, let's go. Thank you. The last sentence of thanks is just a lingering sound, because Gwen had already run into the elevator. As for whether she gave money or not, it doesn't matter if you give it or not, but if you don't give the money, she has to make it up again. Wouldn't it be beautiful? 009. Sign into the True Vision Guard. Tony's headaches and worries. After sending off Gwen, Suyi checked the time and was about to leave work. When the time came to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Suyi closed the door of the office, turned around and left. Punch in, Suyi said silently in his heart. Check in successfully. Obtain, True Sight Guard X3. True Vision Guard. True Sight Guard. After activating the guard, within a certain range, any sight, detection, perception, spirit, including electronic equipment outside the range will be invalid unless it enters the range. Read the prop's introduction. Suyi immediately understood what kind of prop it was. The True Eye of Runitara. Okay. It's a good thing. Suyi nodded in satisfaction. There are 3 of them. Go back and plug one in the office and one in the home, so you don't have to worry about any external detection. Or something like a camera. Cameras all over the world, such as JARVIS, Ultron, and Vision, can be viewed at will. Is it safe to install one at home? Isn't that live broadcast? The time came tonight. In the Avengers base. Wanda looked at the business card Tony gave her and was lost in thought. She searched for the address on her phone. It turned out to be in Manhattan, the most lush area of New York. Honestly, Wanda doesn't want to go to this kind of place now. Now there is a lot of scolding against her on the internet. Her mistake to save Captain America indirectly killed more people than the mission was supposed to save. So Wanda is also being abused on the internet. Call her a wicked witch, scolding her as a mess and so on and so on. This has led Wanda to have two ideas now. One is no longer using any ability. Two is to stop going to crowded places. She just wanted to find a place with few people to live alone, and that was enough. Only Wanda also wants to live a normal life in her heart. Go out normally. Normal play, normal pleasure. For these, it's okay. She has to try. And the way to try is. Wanda lowered her head and picked up the wooden business card. Then put it in your pocket, and get up again to prepare the clothes you will wear tomorrow. A plain pair of blue jeans, a grey oversized sweater with a hood. That way she wouldn't be instantly recognized as Scarlet Witch walking down the street. It also saves a lot of trouble. At the same time, in the brand new Stark mansion, Tony Stark sat on a chair, looking at the wishes of the citizens collected on Friday, which gave him a headache. First of all, JARVIS is almost delivered. It became what is now Vision. Furthermore, the data and future forecasts given on Friday are very serious. At the moment, nearly half of the voices on the internet for superhero are not positive, and among those who support the superhero, most of them are fans of a certain hero, not the definition of superhero, like Iron Man, like Captain America. As for the negative information, either swearing or opposing, that's all. Tilda. Tony sighed. He hugged his arms with one hand, and rested his forehead with the other. Sir, according to calculations, if you want to appease social opposition, there are two most effective methods. Tony held his forehead without moving. Which two kinds? One is for Avengers to solve a crisis of annihilation and let the society know that only superhero is the last insurance. Two is that Avengers hides it. According to the iteration speed of network information, the voice of discussion will be reduced by 70% in about 1 year, and it will approach the optimal value in 3 years, or completely expose the internal activities of Avengers to reassure the whole society. Faced with such an answer, Tony shook helplessly. Say it is the same as not saying it. Friday is artificial intelligence. It can calculate that the answer is yes. It is indeed the answer. But both answers are impossible, at least not in a short period of time. The Avengers finally assembled and just prevented a catastrophe. Although this disaster is also mainly related to Tony, but the reality is not like this. It has become an honor, and it has lost face when it fails. In the absence of a turnaround, efforts seem to backfire. Tony looked at a piece of equipment on the pedestal. This is the panel of neural network and intelligent control. He and Banner made it together. But now the banner is gone too. Originally, Tony wanted to build a steel group and an intelligent network hub to protect the Earth. But now, he was a little disheartened, because it's not worth it for Tony to do this anymore. It is better that the time has passed. Tony also knew he had no chance. At the moment, Tony made a fist with one hand, put it to his mouth, and thought about it all night. Friday. Sir, maybe your second choice is right. Sir, but this choice will make Avengers bound by the United Nations. Captain America will not agree to this choice. That's his business. If there is a problem, he will solve it. I will do my job well. Sir. Okay, bring up the armor panel, and let's start researching new armor. Okay, sir. 010. Meet Wanda for the first time. Phoenix Force and Chaos Force. The next day, insert the True Sight Guardian behind the office. Suyi's morning was spent fishing. He basically fishes every morning. This is where no one sees a psychiatrist, and he doesn't like to go to work at this time. Over time, those who want to see psychology come at noon or afternoon. So Suyi spent the morning playing games, reading books, watching the news, playing with mobile phones and so on. But Steven would also come to Zhaosuai to chat when he had no surgery. He usually comes in the morning to make an appointment for Suyi in the evening. Then wait until one arrives at 5 p.m. The two of them close the door, go straight out and play. And generally, in the afternoon, if there are people, there will be others, and if there are no one, there will be fish. That's it. Anyway, Suyi lived happily. A lot of money, light work, easy, and high quality. You can also sign in every day and wait to become stronger. This is uncomfortable. The time came to noon. Suyi was leaning on the recliner and brushing TikTok. No way. There are too many bodhisattvas above. All kinds of coolly dressed bodhisattvas put benefits on it. There are also a variety of funny videos. It's hard not to love Suyi. Definitely he only brushes when alone. Don't ask. If you ask, even if there are too many people, you will lose face. At this time, Suyi, who was brushing sat up. There was a golden light in his eyes. Wanda? Yes. Suyi sensed that a unit with powerful ability and spirit was approaching his building. Then he sensed it and found it. Isn't this the power of chaos? And the one with the power of chaos is Wanda, also known as Scarlet Witch. That's all. Under Suyi's induction, Wanda crossed the zebra crossing, walked across the street, and entered the building she was in. Then wait for someone else to enter the elevator. She waited for another empty elevator before going up. Finally reached his door. Suyi thought for a while, nodded and said, "Come in." Hear voices. Wanda's hand on the doorknob paused. Then he opened the door and walked in. After she came in, Suyi first looked at Wanda, blue jeans, a large hooded sweater, and even a hood when he came in, and kept his head down, not facing himself. Suyi smiled, pushed up a cup of milk tea and said, "Come to me, no matter who you are. I will not be surprised." After finishing speaking, Suyi gestured to the photo frame of him and Hulk that had not been put back on the seat. Wanda turned her head to look. After discovering the photo of Suyi and Hulk, she was slightly surprised because the Hulk is gone now. The Avengers can't find it no matter how hard they look, and Tony even searched all over the world's cameras on Friday and couldn't find it. But here I found someone who knew Hulk and could take a photo with Hulk. Wanda knows about Hulk's strength. Not to mention the Chitauri civilization invasion. The destruction of the city after she magically sent the Hulk into a rage alone has Wanda rushing to. Well, now that I think about it, this is what Wanda did herself. But after seeing the photo of Suyi and Hulk, it really made Wanda let down a lot of guards. Hello, I'm Wanda Maximoff. My name is Suyi. With self-introduction, Wanda raised her head and pulled down her hood. But the moment she looked up at Suyi, Wanda was stunned. She looked at Suyi's face. First of all, it wasn't because Suyi was so handsome that he was stunned. It was the moment when he saw Suyi's face. Wanda actually felt that the man in front of her made her very kind. There is a kind of family. No, my friends. Not right. It seems to be a feeling of sworn friends. It's like a partner who is walking the same path and has an important bond. Why is that, Miss Witch? Suyi also reminded with some doubts. Suyi's words brought Wanda back to her senses. Then she explained. Doctor, the moment I saw you, I seemed to see a childhood companion I hadn't seen for many years. Coincidentally, hearing this sentence, Suyi raised his eyebrows and said, I also felt this way just now. Really? Wanda was surprised. Really? Suyi confirmed. This sentence is not false. The moment he saw Wanda, Suyi felt a sense of intimacy, but nowhere near as Wanda saw herself intensely. Why is this? Suyi was also thinking. Still an example. Is there anything about Wanda that is similar to me, and is there anything completely different from me? Suyi thought quickly for a moment. Come up with two answers. Ability, gender. And gender cannot call intimacy. So ability. Correct. Suyi suddenly realized Wanda has a Chaos Force and a Phoenix Force of her own. Although these two abilities are two different things, they are one of the three oldest powers in the Marvel Universe. That is to say, the two abilities are familiar with each other. They even know each other consciously. And Suyi's ability has no will, so he was kind just now, but not strong. But Wanda will feel strongly and dearly. So it is. 011. Talk about life with Wanda. It's tea time. Phoenix Force and Chaos Force. They are one of the oldest abilities in the universe. So when Wanda looked at Suyi, she rushed over very kindly. Looks like a kind of fate, Wanda said with a smile. I think so. Suyi also smiled. This feeling is really fun. Then Wanda let all her guard down. She reached out to take the milk tea pushed by Suyi and took a sip. Then she was the same as Gwen before. Wanda's charming eyes lit up. Looking at the appearance of the milk tea, I became curious. This is so delicious. It's the first time I've had such a delicious drink. What is it? Milk tea, Suyi explained. A drink made from tea bags and seasonings. Oh, Wanda understood. Then he took a few more sips from the straw with his red lips. Then tasted a few. Swallowed again. Very tasty. Like Gwen, Wanda also gave milk tea a good review. That's all. The two of them didn't talk about business at first. Because of the sudden liking for Suyi, Wanda suddenly forgot the purpose of her visit, and chatted with Suyi just like that. Suyi Wang didn't forget, but he was very willing to chat with DM Aluminum. In previous clients, all male customers can be resolved quickly and then sent away. What matters is efficiency. The female customers of Pyeongju are different. From food to movies, from underwear to cosmetics, from travel to dating and so on. In short, Suyi is quite willing to chat with beautiful female clients. Anyway, idle is idle. Nothing to do. Do it. So Wanda and Suyi started talking about milk tea. Then they talked about the furniture and collections in Suyi's office. Then after knowing that these are actually sent by customers, Wanda was very surprised. This is if it is sent by the customer. Then how much do they like Suyi's ability? Immediately afterwards, Wanda and Suyi left their seats. Then they walked together to an antique cash register and chatted. This is the cash register? Wanda stretched out her hand, wanting to touch it, but then stopped and looked at Suyi. Can I touch it? Definitely. Suyi signaled that there is no problem. Anyway, his magic can make these things brand new. It's a cash register that's 95% silver. But the history is not too long. It seems to be only 100 years. And Wanda touched the surface of the cash register. It is said that it is a work of art. That is because its surface is full of secret patterns of hand rubbing. So it looks very high level overall. It's beautiful. Wanda touched it and withdrew her hand. Then look at the other artwork, such as metal vases, murals, silver tableware, small sculptures and so on. Wanda knew at a glance that these should be worth a lot, so she didn't touch it anymore. Next, finished talking about the collectibles in the office, the two returned to their chairs and chatted about other things. Wanda recalled her hometown, and said that she didn't like being a superhero, but joined in a semi-forced way. She also said that she has been very sad recently, and explained to Suyi that she didn't do it on purpose. She couldn't control the power of the bomb in order to save people, so she became an accidental injury. Then there are her views on the internet. Wanda said that if possible, she would like to move to a small town with few people. That way there is less stress. That's all. Wanda regards Su-yi as her confidant. During the whole afternoon, Wanda said, Su-yi listened, and then made suggestions and agreed. They passed the whole afternoon like this. A whole cup of milk tea was also gradually finished by Wanda. But I understand everything. When a girl tells you some secrets and tells you everything about herself, that's the beginning of her dependence on you, and will gradually trust you. Then the subsequent development depends on the thoughts and operations of the person being confided. And Su-yi, definitely not nice guy. Suck. After the last bit is sucked by Wanda, she was surprised to find that she had chatted with Su-yi for so long. Sorry. It seems like I'm the one talking. Wanda was a little ashamed and embarrassed for taking up so much of her time after all. Su-yi shook his head and said it's okay. Listening is also a kind of psychological counseling. Here are the 4 words of psychological counseling. It was only then that Wanda remembered that she was here for psychological counseling. She just added, I forgot to mention, Mr. Tony Stark gave me my business card and suggested me to come. Tony? Su-yi was taken aback for a moment, then smiled. Then it seems that I have to thank him. Thank you? Wanda wondered. Su-yi looked at the time. It was 4:58 in the afternoon, and then he got up from his side and said, Thank you for introducing me to a mature and beautiful female client. Let me increase my business and feel happy again. Let's go. It's time for afternoon tea. Let's go to another coffee shop or a place with sweetness and nice scenery. Let's talk slowly. After speaking, Su-yi pushed away the chair and walked out, opening the door for Wanda. And Wanda blushed a little after hearing Su-yi's provocative words. But she is definitely not too shy as a mature Yuji. So Wanda glanced at Su-yi with a smile in her eyes. You make me regret going out dressed like this. Then he walked past him and went out the door. And Su-yi also closed the door, opened it silently in his heart, and left with Wanda. 012. Tony's curiosity. Natasha Romanoff's observation. Punch the card. Check in successfully. Get SpongeBob SquarePants complete comics. Damn, he only watched a little bit of Crayon Shin-chan last time. Here comes SpongeBob SquarePants again. Where can I see this? Forget it, it's okay, take your time. Just think of it as something to pass the time in case you have to go to jail in the future. Then, exit the door of the building behind the door. Wanda tensed visibly. Then he chose to put on the hood. So you looked back. If she hadn't driven the car all this time, after thinking about it, she took her to the underground garage and got a Ferrari. Then close the window so you can't see in from the outside, but you can look out from the inside. Thank you. Your car looks great. After getting into the car, Wanda took her off the hood again, and Su-yi looked into Wanda's eyes and smiled. You're welcome, because I like red. I like red. Scarlet Witch. Red energy. When Wanda heard it, she was also very happy. It seems that the previous negative energy has been eliminated and at the moment, I feel much better too. But Wanda looked at Ferrari's gaze before realizing it. Ferrari supercars are simply too conspicuous. Super sports cars, Phoenix-like paint, roaring low-pitched sound. Various elements are mixed together. It made everyone look at Ferrari. Then if Wanda gets off the car later, if she is captured and uploaded on the internet, wouldn't it be more finished? By Phoenix Force. Su-yi felt the worry in the co-pilot's heart. Holding the steering wheel with one hand, he said, while driving the car while looking ahead. Don't worry. Let's go to the cafe and dessert shop. It's relatively remote, there are few people, and no one takes pictures with their mobile phones. It's also very quiet and the atmosphere is good. That's why I like it better. Su-yi said so. Sure enough, Wanda was relieved a lot. That's good. But she turned her head to look at Su-yi's profile. What Wanda really didn't expect was that Su-yi is actually so caring and comfortable. It's like starting with Wanda entering the door. Su-yi knew where she was suffering. It was before. Also now. How should I put it? The evaluation given by Wanda is that being with Su-yi is very happy and comfortable. That's all. Su-yi drove his Ferrari and took Scarlet Witch Wanda to a nice cafe and dessert shop. And with Ferrari gone, a figure stopped from the crowd in the street. Then he whispered into the headset. Tony, I need you to give me the destination address of the Ferrari here, inside the Stark building on the other side. Tony looked at the monitoring that was called up on Friday and couldn't understand. Natasha Romanoff, the therapist I introduced to Wanda. Now you are here to monitor. If I am found out, what will I be thought of? Who will explain to Wanda? But essentially, Tony couldn't understand Natasha Romanoff's behavior. No, Tony, I'm not spying. Just observing. Natasha Romanoff of Main Street stepped to the curb. Then he rushed to the address Tony gave and said, Wanda's mental state is very bad recently. I have been trained as an agent of SHIELD, and I know that she is most easily seduced at the moment. And her contact person is a psychiatrist, the most powerful psychiatrist. So after these few days of discussions, I think it's time for me to observe Wanda's status. Inside the Stark building, Tony looked at Natasha Romanoff's moving position and shook his head helplessly. It's up to you. But don't involve me if you are found out. That's all. The call between the two hung up. Although Tony said that, he still asked Friday to analyze Su-yi's situation with data. Friday, analyze this man. Okay, sir. Definitely Tony just wanted to see if Su-Yi had done any bad things. That's all. Friday analyzed Su-Yi's course of action. Also, has he committed any crimes? After about a few seconds. On Friday, the cold voice came out. Sir, the subject has committed no crimes, and among all his friends, Dr. Bruce Banner. What? Tony's head, which had been lowered, instantly rose. He looked at the display panel in the sky. Show me the data you collected. Neither did Tony. The person he casually introduced actually knew Banner. And Banner is also very important to Tony, and he is also worried. Though vision counts as Tony's failure, but Banner has been helping him in this process. So Tony is grateful for Banner. Then he was even more worried about the disappearance of Banner now. Sir, Dr. Banner met Mr. Su-Yi about a year ago. Scanning based on past records, Dr. Banner has approached Mr. Su-Yi many times for psychological help, and after being helped, Dr. Banner was able to calm down gradually even after transforming, and then took a group photo with Mr. Su-Yi. So Dr. Banner's usual calmness is probably due to Mr. Su-Yi. The relationship between the two of them is also very cordial. 013. Afternoon tea with Wanda. Benefits of magic. After reading the materials compiled on Friday, Tony Stark became even more curious about Su-Yi. It turns out that there is someone so predestined with Avengers, and he's also Banner's good friend. No, according to Banner's healing effect, Banner may have regarded him as a buddy. Tony lowered his chin with one hand and thought for a while, then turned around and nodded. Maybe I need to get to know the best psychiatrist in the United States. Do you need an appointment, sir? Friday replied, but maybe you need to go in person first, because Dr. Su-Yi does not accept any form of telephone or online appointment. Tony raised his brows, feeling Su-Yi was a little suspenseful. It turns out that in the United States, there is actually someone who is taller than me. Give me time to meet him. The other side. After driving for about 20 minutes, Su-Yi's Ferrari finally drove to their destination, a cafe and dessert restaurant by the sea behind the woods. After coming here, because Su-Yi is a qualified person, he parked his car in a place relatively outside the cafe. No way. Ferrari's engine sound is super nice, but also a bit loud. But this is impolite for a coffee shop. Definitely these details are also seen by Wanda. She had another comment on Su-Yi in her heart. Understand and respect each other. But Wanda got out of the car. After following Su-Yi into the coffee shop, she regretted it a little bit. Wait until Su-Yi takes her to a corner by the sea and sits down. And after ordering 2 cups of coffee and some desserts, Wanda leaned close to Su-Yi's ear and said softly, "Clothing out like this is the decision I regret most today." Really? Jeans, gray sweater, go to the coffee shop. This is indeed a bit low for the United States. But fortunately, the United States is relatively free. No one will say anything to you. And this cafe is remote and high level. The people there are also much better. But Su-Yi also gave Wanda a suggestion. Your magic should be able to change the material structure, so that you can directly change the clothes on your body. Can it still be like this? But Wanda thought for a while and shook her head and said, but I can't do it yet. It's okay, I believe you can do it in the future. Su-Yi smiled, and then gave a few more examples. This world is no longer a scientific world. I also heard that the magician in Kamartage can change people's perception of themselves. In this way, even if you go out and meet someone you know, he may not be able to notice that it is you. But I don't know if it's spiritual magic or cognitive magic. Maybe Miss Witch can try. Finished. Su-Yi also listed several daily magic, like cleaning up trash with magic, refresh your clothes with magic, use magic to fix broken homes and more. Su-Yi knew that some of these magics could definitely be used, but he had never seen some of them. Fortunately, we can tell Wanda to hear them all, and after hearing Su-Yi's words, Wanda really shinned, because Su-Yi's words brought him a new understanding of magic. It turns out that magic doesn't have to be used for destruction. You can even change a suit of clothes for yourself, even cleaning and more. If so, magic is awesome too, right? For a while, Wanda has a lot of ideas and experiments on her own magic again, and she decided to try it when she went back at night. At the same time, in the distance, Natasha Romanoff was watching Su-Yi and Wanda with a telescope, then used the lip language device to translate the content of the chat between the two. This kind of monitoring observation has been done for Natasha Romanoff many times, very skilled. But after watching the conversation between Su-Yi and Wanda for a while, Natasha Romanoff also let go of her caution towards Su-Yi, because Natasha Romanoff saw it. Su-Yi wasn't just chatting with Wanda for afternoon tea. Instead, coach Wanda's mind through daily behaviors. Natasha Romanoff can see this. Magic, fun, afternoon tea. Natasha Romanoff could tell from all the signs, and from Wanda's smile. Wanda's mentality is indeed improving, and it's getting better fast. After watching for a while, Natasha Romanoff nodded approvingly. The most powerful psychiatrist in the United States. Not bad. Definitely. Su-Yi was originally countless times taller than what she had seen in the coffee shop. Wait until the things ordered by the two are served. Su-Yi looked around while chatting with Wanda. His seemingly casual glance passed Natasha Romanoff's and seemed to meet him. But it seems to just ship hit. Natasha Romanoff in the distance has a heart. It's as if you were suddenly stared at when you entered the women's bathhouse incognito. Definitely you will not be invisible. In reality, there is no women's bathhouse. But the meaning is this. Accident. Natasha Romanoff looked at Suyi seriously through the binoculars. The two parties were so far apart, they shouldn't have been discovered, and after seeing Wanda's smile amused by Suyi's humorous words, Natasha Romanoff was relieved. It was an accident. Actually not. It's just that Suyi doesn't want to expose his super ability in front of superheroes too early, at least until one of Gwen and Wanda gets his hands on it. Cough cough cough. It's not kidnapping. 014. Crazy Scarlet Witch. Chat about the future of life. Next coffee dessert time. Suyi and Wanda had a pleasant chat. How happy is it? Wanda's emotions were high because of talking too much, and after she was happy, her face is blushing. This point was suddenly realized after Wanda touched his face. Is my face so hot? Wanda touched her face, wondering if she was too proactive and enthusiastic. Because in front of Suyi, many topics were brought up by Wanda to chat. For example, ask Suyi what kind of life he likes. What Suyi replied was, I like to be happy, to live peacefully. Leisure life. This is Suyi's heartfelt thoughts. He really likes to eat and sleep every day, sleep and play, and continue to eat and sleep after playing. Is this uncomfortable? And Wanda replied very happily after hearing it. We are the same. I also really like the kind of life you're talking about. This is simply the future I dream of. After saying this sentence, Wanda blushed even more. She didn't even know that she was blushing in embarrassment when talking about the future of the two of them in front of Suyi, or just plain excited red. Forget it. Never mind. Red is red. But in a coffee shop, because what Wanda just said was too loud. Everyone around looked over. Suyi smiled at them to express his apology. The people around turned around. Wanda looked back. Then he apologized softly to Suyi. Sorry, I was so excited. It's okay. Suyi took a cup of coffee and drank it. Just say what's on your mind. Too many people who are introverted and autistic, even people with depression, just can't stretch their hearts. Chatting is a channel to open the soul. Happiness is the medicine that cures all diseases. Wanda nodded in agreement. She has more and more sense of identification and intimacy with Suyi. Simply put, I like it more and more. Talked for a long time. Wanda lowered her head and took a sip of her coffee. Then he tasted it, and whispered to Suyi after seeing that there was no one around. I think the coffee here is not as good as your milk tea. Hearing these words, Suyi laughed. Coffee is coffee, and milk tea is milk tea. They both have the same thing, maybe only with caffeine. But there are essentially two things. Just look at what you like to drink. But Suyi thought about it, and suddenly suggested, would you like to mix milk tea into coffee? Wanda opened her eyes. Is it okay? Anyway, I haven't tried it, Suyi said with a smile, but you can try it. But I've finished my milk tea. But mine's not finished yet. Following Suyi, he put his own milk tea on the table. Wanda doesn't care where the milk tea came from. She looked around first. After confirming that no one is paying attention here, Wanda took Suyi's milk tea and poured it into the remaining half of her coffee cup. Then immediately put the milk tea back. Picking up the spoon again, he stirred the coffee. Suyi took back the milk tea, then watched her cup with Wanda. Soon, Wanda put down the stirring spoon. Then he picked up the cup and took a sip. After tasting it, Wanda first made a nasal sound. Then he pursed his lips and said, bitter is a little sweet inside. Then lick it hard in the throat. Suyi was taken aback. Isn't this the domestic raw coconut latte? You'll know when you try it. Seeing the question mark on Suyi's face, Wanda put the cup in Suyi's hand, motioning him to have a taste too. And don't mind both of them drinking this cup. This cup, no problem. Just try it. Wanda held Suyi's hand and quickly let Suyi drink. Those people don't care anymore. Suyi picked up the cup and took a sip. He also made a nasal sound, then nodded in agreement. It's like coffee with sugar water, bitter and sweet. But mostly bitter. Right. Wanda blinked happily. Then he took back his glass and drank it down. Suyi smiled when he saw it. Speak the truth. Wanda's behavior is that she has completely let go of her guard. If it is an ordinary girl, Suyi at the moment took him to the bar for a drink. Then the two can go home and shoot. But Wanda can't rush. With today's development, what should come will come. That's all. The two drank coffee and ate desserts from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. And Wanda has been here since the afternoon. In other words, the two have spent at least 6 hours together today. Also talked for more than 6 hours, and Suyi saw that it was getting late outside, and it was almost the end of the day, and it was time to go home and play games. He asked the waiter to settle the bill and gave a small tip. Then he stood up and said to Wanda, let's go, Miss Witch. The fiery red car should take a fiery red beauty home. Wanda stood up and looked at her flat shoes. Then he raised his head and sighed again. Sue, you made me regret for the third time that I came out wearing this outfit today. It doesn't matter. Suyi spread his hands, because I can see your inner beauty. After Wanda said Otilda, she immediately expressed that she had been shot by an arrow in the heart, and that arrow was shot by Suyi. 015. Ferrari Hurricane. Crisis on the streets. New York City at night. brightly lit. The lights in the building are all on, very bright, as if the electricity bill is free. But some of the lights on the road were on, and some were not, and I was desperately searching. This reflects capital and citizens. And the fiery red Ferrari was driving on the road, thanks to Su-Yi's hard work. Wanda sat in the passenger seat and looked out the window. She opened the window a bit to let the breeze blow over her cheeks. Do not know how. Wanda kind of doesn't want to go back to the Avengers base. And just don't go there. The car can go anywhere. Just don't go home. Su-Yi, who was driving, felt Wanda's psychology. Her mentality is a bit like a rebellious girl. But the main problem is the effect on her of her starting to ostracize the Avengers. Think about it. Here at Su-Yi, chat happily, eat, drink, touch fish, and back to the base, either facing the verbal violence on the internet, or the sense of oppression when the Avengers dispatched missions. Now the Avengers have changed. In the past, when a superhero dispatched a mission, the citizens cheered. But now, Wanda could clearly sense that something was wrong with Shendu in the eyes of many people. It made her very sad. And Su-Yi, at the moment, completely felt her mood. Because Wanda's emotions are strong right now. Su-Yi thought for a while, and asked while driving. I think there is a 190-meter-high Ferris wheel in New York that can overlook the whole of New York, and it's on the way. Do you want to see it? In fact, it is not a smooth road, and we have to turn a little more. But Wanda immediately regained her spirits when she heard it. She instantly turned her head to look at Su-Yi and nodded. Go. Go. Hear Wanda's urgent tone. Su-Yi smiled, changed to holding the steering wheel with both hands, and then turned the steering wheel, and went directly onto the expressway. Sit tight. Then kick the gas pedal down. Roar tilde. Ferrari's V12 engine makes a low-pitched roar, like a lion roaring. Immediately afterwards, the entire red body began to accelerate forward. The front of the car even lifted a little because of the excessive speed. And both Su-Yi and Wanda were pressed on the seats by this sudden speed increase. This is pushing back feeling. Oh tilde. Wanda let out a cry of surprise, but was immediately replaced by excitement. She looked at Su-Yi's profile from time to time. Then he turned his head and looked at the road ahead. At the moment Su-Yi was also speeding up while smiling. That smile was different from a smile. It is a kind of fierceness and self-confidence in it. A few minutes later, the fiery red Ferrari rolled off the highway. Then head to the Ferris wheel. Inside the car, Wanda's chest was constantly heaving with excitement. Although the fullness is hidden in the large sweater, it can still feel a little bit ready to come out. Great tilde. After recovering, Wanda looked at Su-Yi happily. It's so cool tilde. All right. European and American girls are so direct and open. It's normal to say something like this directly, and still in front of people who have good feelings. And Su-Yi smiled, and said very bluntly, that's what I drive this car for. I wouldn't want to drive this car without you as my co-pilot, Wanda. Wanda covered her lips in surprise. Then he smiled back and blinked. I trust you, Sue, because you didn't want to drive when you came downstairs in the first place. Did you take the initiative to drive the other side of the car after seeing my predicament? I figured it out. So you're a good man. In Europe and the United States, good man is not a derogatory term. And Wanda was born in a small place like Sokovia. What she said about a good man is definitely a good thing. After hearing this, Su-Yi nodded happily and agreed. You're right Wanda. My real name, Su-Yi, accepts your compliment. Hearing Su-Yi's cheeky answer, Wanda was trembling with laughter in the car, and as the Ferrari entered the street, it had to slow down. The pedestrians around began to watch Su-Yi's car again. Wanda knows that this mirror is one way, and she can only see the outside from the inside. So she sticks to the car window to watch the street scene outside. At this time, Hilda, there are monsters. Lots of mice. Help me. Help me. For a moment, Wanda turned her head and looked at Su-Yi. Su-Yi confirmed, something happened, and Wanda's hands are on the handlebars. She's an Avengers member, she's a superhero, and she's needed here. But in the past, more than 2 or 3 people acted together. And now she's alone. Wanda was a little overwhelmed. What if she goes alone? Does something wrong? Makes more of an impact. Will he be sprayed and retired? And Wanda at the moment's heart was perceived by Su-Yi. Su-Yi held the steering wheel with one hand, drove the car near the sound, and said, while holding Wanda's hand with the other, don't worry, I'll go take a look with you. Wanda's eyes widened instantly when she heard it. She quickly said, Sue, you are a normal person. It's okay. Su-Yi parked the car on the side of the road, then got out of the car and opened Wanda's door and extended his hand to invite. You need socially positive rhetoric to heal you psychologically. Only positive impact can make people's lives better. I am your psychiatrist, and it is my responsibility to help you out of your psychological dilemma. Believe me. Me too. Trust you. 016. Mutant Rat Crisis. Spider-Gwen is out. Looking at the fleeing crowd around, Wanda and Su-Yi held hands and rushed towards the direction where the crowd was fleeing. Wanda at the moment didn't even know what was wrong with her. It seems to follow the sound. Wanda grabbed Su-Yi's hand and got out of the car as if she was holding on to hope. At the moment is obviously rushing to the scene. But Wanda's heart is on Suyi. It was all at the moment when Suyi stretched out his hand to him. That moment, it makes Wanda seem to see the warm sun that illuminates her heart. Rats. Lots of rats. Help, help. At this time, a cry not far away brought Wanda back to her senses. At the moment Suyi has brought Wanda to the edge of the scene. The two looked across the street, then looked to the side of the sewer. As expected, dozens of rats the size of buckets are coming out of the underground pipes. There are also various reptiles and lizards. The normal file size of this animal is scary enough. What's more, each of them at the moment has a bucket file size. Some are even as big as a child. See this animal. Even Wanda was taken aback. She couldn't help but clenched Suyi's hand tightly. But Suyi turned his head and said to Wanda, "Listen to me, Wanda. These mutated animals must be able to kill people. They need you. Don't be afraid. Use your magic ability to grab these animals, or cover them directly. Just squeeze them hard. You just need to remember to use magic like pincers to kill these mice." Wanda grabbed Suyi's hand, still a little nervous. Hilda. At this time, a child was jumped by a big mouse, and the child's mother is looking for tools to save her child. But the teeth of the big rat were about to bite the child's neck. There was a red light in Suyi's eyes. The mouse's pupils dilated instantly, and then rolled to the side. Suyi's blow directly destroyed the brain of the mouse, and after the child pushed the mouse away, he immediately got up and ran to his mother. Hilda. At this time, another person was thrown down by the mouse, but Suyi didn't care this time. He shot just now, just because it was a child. At the same time, Natasha Romanoff, who was just about to return to the base, was notified. A mutated animal attack was discovered in the Elizabeth district of New York. "I'll be right there." Natasha Romanoff, who was notified by the base's intelligence system, immediately went to the area where Suyi and Wanda at the moment were located. And by the sea in Queens, New York, a girl in black spandex sports leggings and a white pink sweater is squatting on top of the building. Looking at Elizabeth, "I feel like there's a crisis going on there." Gwen sat on the edge of the building talking to herself. Then she thought about it. "Go and see." Finally, she put the pink and white spider headgear on her head. "Then shoot and yank with the web shooters on your wrist." In this way, Spider-Gwen quickly swung away between the building and the bridge. In the moonlight, her figure is more agile than other generations of Spider-Man. And the figure is also over the top. It's like a female leopard with a curvy body after tightening its body. Elizabeth District. After seeing people being attacked by swarms of rats, Wanda also cheered up and wanted to try to make a move. Suyi stroked Wanda's cheek. Then he looked into Wanda's eyes and encouraged with ease. "You can do it. Believe in yourself. Just catch those rats and beat them up. It's much easier than saving people. Trust me." Wanda nodded, then left Suyi's side and took a few steps forward. This is so conspicuous in the crowd who are a few steps back. Someone saw Wanda come out, but don't know who Wanda is. Immediately afterwards, Wanda held out her hands, and her distinctive use of magic gesture followed. And the scarlet magic energy also gathered in her hands. It's Scarlet Witch. At this moment, the crowd recognized Wanda. With this unique gesture and special scarlet magic, everyone knows who this is. "Is her? Then shall we continue running?" "Run. She will accidentally hurt us." "Hear the words around you." Wanda was a little affected inside. She turned her head to look at Suyi behind her, and Suyi didn't move, still watching him from behind her. And Suyi nodded. "Say you can. Go ahead." Wanda nodded. Her hair floats in the air with a magical ability. And Wanda drives the origin magic power in the hands. She waved her hands. The scarlet ability caught a group of mice in an instant. And I caught several of them at once. But what to do next? Wanda is a little hesitation. She continued to look back at Suyi. But Suyi didn't make a sound. He just puts one hand up in the air and gives it a firm grip. Wanda nodded understandingly. Then she turned her head and imitated Suyi to give it a firm grip. PSSD. For a moment, the few mice in the air all exploded into blood mist and disappeared. Under origin magic power, a mutant mouse is not even a younger brother. It would be nice to turn into a blood mist. There is no extinction, disappearing into nothingness. But Wanda turned around excitedly and said in surprise, "Sue, I did it." Suyi gave her a thumbs up. But he smiled and said helplessly, "Wanda, can you stop looking at me and get rid of these little monsters first?" Wanda nodded shyly. "I see." 017. Origin magic power crushes the rats. Spider-Gwen is here. It's not the same after having Scarlet Witch shot, and chaos power is definitely easier to destroy than to save people. And the subject is still a mutant mouse. In addition, Suyi was behind him encouraging him. So this gave Wanda a lot of self-confidence. She waved her hands, and the scarlet origin magic power surged around her. The stance of energy is powerful. The surroundings seem to be automatic without wind. Wanda gripped the void with one hand. A group of scarlet abilities immediately engulfed a group of rats. Then she shook the other hand again. PSSD. The rats immediately exploded into blood mist. Thus began Wanda's heroic mission of catching mice. Groups of mice were pinched and exploded into blood mist under Wanda's magic. This also makes Wanda more and more confident. "Look, it's Scarlet Witch." Scarlet Witch saved us. Scarlet Witch saved us. Wanda's actions quickly cleared up the rat colony. Then the crowd realized that it was Wanda who did it. They immediately shouted out in surprise. This time Wanda was much more comfortable after hearing it in her ears. Wanda turned her head and blinked at Su-Yi. Su-Yi waved his hand, telling her to work quickly. Don't look at herself. But at this moment, Puff Tilda, another manhole cover was lifted up by rats. Then a large group of rats came out of the well, and it's headed for Wanda. Tilda. Wanda quickly waved her hands. PSSD Tilda. Then pinch and burst the new rats. But this also made Wanda start to be a little busy, because there are already several manhole covers emitting mutant rats. So, what shall I do? Now Wanda was so anxious that she couldn't even turn her head. She could only ask Su-Yi with her back turned. Su-Yi was still thinking. Do you want to secretly take action to prevent this disaster? He has already thought about it. If you do it yourself, then collapse all the underground pipes at once, so that it looks like there are too many mutant mice. And mice can also be solved together. This kills two birds with one stone. But, in Su-Yi's induction, a person wandered over from between tall buildings. He sensed it mentally. It was Gwen. And it's still Gwen wearing the original spider suit. Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man are not the same. The original Spider-Man appeared in clothes sewn from fabric. But Gwen isn't just smarter. Her family is better too. Her father was the commissioner of the NIPT. So Gwen's first spider battle suit was made of the clothing fabrics of international athletes, fit and tough. That is, the set is black below the waist, white above the waist. The mask is mainly white, with pink lines, and there is also a spider battlesuit with a white appearance but a pink hood inside. This is Gwen's exclusive battlesuit. None of the other Spider-Mans. That's all. Spider-Gwen hung on the glass wall of a building, looking towards Su-Yi. Gwen scanned the crowd with her eyes. Mutant rat, crowd, Scarlet Witch, Su-Yi. Wait, Su-Yi? Question mark. Startled, Gwen immediately stared at Su-Yi. Only now did she realize that Su-Yi was standing behind Scarlet Witch, and it was near the mouth of the well where the mutated mouse appeared. And Scarlet Witch because too many rats. I can't hold it anymore. That's if Scarlet Witch can't hold on. What about Su-Yi behind her? No, I have to help her. Gwen stretched out his hand and shot, and the white cobweb immediately shot forward. Immediately afterwards, she dragged Cobweb to Su-Yi's place. And Scarlet Witch here. It's hard enough for Wanda to crush a few rats in the manhole cover. So far she has crushed hundreds of mice to death. But, Puff Tilda, with the surrounding manhole covers lifted again, more mice came out from all around. It's over. Run. When the surrounding crowd saw the form, they were immediately delighted. Wanda also had a dignified expression. She turned her head and wanted Su-Yi to go first. Su, you go first. And Su-Yi pointed to the side with his eyes, and pointed to the building beside him. Wanda turned her head. Tilda. Gwen swung the cobweb from the middle of the road. She threw her hands in the air. PSST. Then stick to the two large manhole covers and slammed them forward. Bang 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 Tilda. For a while, two large manhole covers knocked dozens of mice away. Su-Yi saw a mouse just flew into the trash can. Two rats slapped the billboard into a paste, and the rest lie on the ground. Mutated mouse. I am a mouse. I am going to send mud today Tilda. And Wanda saw the timing too. She quickly waved her hands, using chaos power to control the rats in other places. Then squeeze it with one hand. PSSD Tilda. Watching the group of rats being pinched into a cloud of blood, Spider-Gwen stood on the roof of the car in a tight spider battle suit and said to Wanda in surprise, "Your magic is amazing, and after getting rid of these mice, it can still be so clean." 018. Two women cooperate to suppress rats. Solve the mutation crisis. Wanda was taken aback by Gwen's words. She also didn't expect the little girl who suddenly came up to help to say this in the first sentence. Wanda thought she would say something, "Come on, leave this to me." But Gwen's first sentence was to praise her magic. This makes Wanda very happy. Besides Su-Yi, there are actually some people who praise him for his magic skills. Kai Tilda. But the next moment, a large group of mutated rats and snakes started pouring out of the hole again. Gwen looked around. With a stretch of her hands, PSST shoots two cobwebs and pulls the manhole cover back. Then cover the two well heads with a plop. Putong. But there were too many mice, and the top manhole cover was about to fly again. And Wanda found out after pinching a group of mice with origin magic power. This group of mice is too much. It can't be destroyed at all. What should we do? Wanda looked back at Su-Yi again. Su-Yi thought about it. Try to see if you can press the manhole cover with a moving car. These rats will definitely not be able to support the car. Wanda nodded immediately. I'll try. But Su-Yi thought about it, and joked, "By the way, don't use my Ferrari, because I will use it to take you home later." PSST. Wanda didn't collapse in this serious scene, and suddenly smiled happily. She said after winking twice to Su-Yi, "I will." Immediately afterwards, Wanda turned, and she waved the Scarlet ability with both hands. Then wrap the car not far away, move him to the manhole cover of the Gwen cover and press it well. As expected, cars in tons are pressed upwards. Sure enough, this group of mutated mice couldn't get out. Good job. Gwen praised Su-Yi with a thumbs up. Good idea. Yi smiled beside Wanda. Then he asked, pretending to be puzzled. Your voice, I seem to have heard it somewhere. Do we know each other? Oh. Gwen immediately covered her mouth with her hands. Then he turned around and faced Yi with his back. Then he replied with a weird voice. No, I'm not. You're wrong. This denial of Sanlian really seems to be self-inflicted. But in order to conform to the brain-dead plot of American dramas, Yi also pretended to admit his mistake and replied, okay, it seems I was wrong. Somehow, after Yi said that he had admitted his mistake, Gwen immediately felt a sense of loss inside. She seems to want Yi to know her identity, real. But the next moment, Yi's voice came from behind her again. But I really think you are like a little girl I met not long ago. She's beautiful and has a figure just like yours. Even the voice was similar just now. Gwen's body trembled instantly. She just turned around and replied, really? Or just say, Sue, that's me. But her reason prevented her from doing that. Because the current situation is still unclear. Gwen is still not sure what exactly her ability can do. Or will my ability bring me difficulties? So until things are settled, Gwen didn't want to involve Yi in this matter. But just wait until the matter of the spider ability is confirmed to be stable. Gwen promises she must have taken the initiative to find Yi. But, Yi suddenly felt a pain in his lower back. He turned away. Wanda looked the other way, not at herself. And there was no one else by his side. Good guy. The previous one was not asking for it. You don't have 300 of silver here, right? Why don't you two get married in place? Anyway, women and girls in the United States are also possible. You two get married now. Definitely, it's best to bring him along. Cough cough cough. Okay. Yi clapped his hands, bringing both of them back to reality. He heard the police approaching in the distance sounding their sirens. So Yi suggested, it won't work if it goes on like this. But let's put the manhole cover down first, then wait for the police to come and guard the manhole covers. This matter requires a large number of people. We have too few people, so we can only limit it first. Hearing Yi's arrangement, the two superheroes, Wanda and Gwen, have no opinion. Yeah. X2. She nods twice, then start to cooperate. Gwen put the manhole covers back on, one by one. Then Wanda used origin magic power to move the car over and compact the manhole cover. If there are mutant mice that come out, then Wanda squeezed with one hand. PSST squeezed into blood mist with a sound. In this way, after 3 times, 5 times and 2 divisions, for the time being, all manhole covers that would risk mutant mice were compacted. At this time, the police car also whizzed by. Gwen saw that one of the police cars belonged to her father. I have to go first. She waved to Yi and Wanda, immediately shot a cobweb and left. Goodbye. And Wanda withdrew her hands, also panting from exhaustion. But after seeing the surrounding problems are really solved, she suddenly turned her head and hugged Yi and said, we did it. Yi didn't do anything beside him. Then he was directly hit by Wanda with the ball. Do you think this is a grievance or not? Definitely not wronged. Still very happy. But Yi just patted Wanda's shoulder, and whispered in her ear. Okay, you are Scarlet Witch, superhero, this is something you can do when you get serious. Stop hugging, everyone around is taking pictures with their phones. If you keep hugging, it will be rumored on the internet that Scarlet Witch, one of the superheroes, is in love. 019. Scarlet Witch Is Hot. Natasha Romanoff is here. After the incident is resolved, Yi didn't expect that Wanda would hug him suddenly. Then he didn't even think about it. Even if he said what he just said, Wanda didn't let go, but hugged her even tighter. Yi was a little confused. But then, he sensed that something was wrong with Wanda's mood. It was like a new life. Excitement, gratitude, emotional emotions. Yi first took Wanda to a corner where no one was around. Then he lowered his head, looked at Wanda who was buried in his chest and asked relaxedly, Wanda, you? Yi hadn't finished speaking yet. Wanda raised her head and pressed her up. The heads of the two touched together, making a slight sound of water until the beeping of a police car came nearby. In the dark corner, the two separated with a loud sound. There is obviously no light here, but there seemed to be flames burning in the eyes of both of them. Wanda was panting from a little lack of oxygen. Yi reached out and touched her face, and wiped the corner of her mouth with his clothes. Then he said slowly, it's still a long time, and there's still a lot of time in the future. We should go out, Miss Witch. Wanda touched Yi's big hand covering her cheek, and nodded. Outside the street, accompanied by several police cars parked at the scene of the incident, Agent Natasha Romanoff and NIPT Commissioner George Stacy, Gwen Stacy's father, get out of the car. Natasha Romanoff walked over to several manhole covers. She looked at the mutated mouse corpses and the car on the manhole cover and wondered, who solved it? Where are people? George Stacy looked around. Then investigate the surrounding on-site citizens with several policemen. Then come back and talk to Natasha Romanoff. Agent Romanoff, a spider lady who shoots cobwebs and wears tights, and a lady who can use the Scarlet magic ability. Miss Spider is not yet clear who it is, but the lady who uses magic seems to be Scarlet Witch from Superhero. Natasha Romanoff's eyes narrowed at George's words. Scarlet Witch? Natasha Romanoff watched Suyi go to send Wanda home. Can I come back here when I go home? And she actually settled the matter with a strange super ability user. Is this the Scarlet Witch they usually see? Just as Natasha Romanoff thought for a moment, Wanda and Suyi came out from the side. Natasha Romanoff. Wanda called to Natasha Romanoff as she walked over and said, "The matter has been resolved, but the mutated rats are still under the manhole cover, so we need to call someone to deal with it quickly." Natasha Romanoff looked at Suyi who came out with Wanda. Then he nodded to Wanda and said, "I have contacted the agent and the police to assist with this incident. It's just that you still need to confirm the process of the matter." Wanda nodded, came to Natasha Romanoff and said to the policeman who turned on the body camera, "As soon as I came here by car, I heard the panic and screams of the crowd. So I hurried over." Wanda talked things through, but in order not to involve Suyi. So there is not a single thing about Suyi mentioned in the whole text. Suyi nodded in his heart when he heard it, and gave Wanda a thumbs up. Then wait for Wanda to say the end. That is, after Miss Spider left, she explained that she was going nearby to see if there were any redundant mutant mice, instead of going to the corner and talking to Suyibo. "No, I didn't say this sentence. This sentence is Wanda's heartfelt words. Wait until the events before and after have been said." George Stacy. The cops went about their business. Natasha Romanoff directly took Wanda to the side and asked, "Who is that spider lady?" Wanda shook her head. "I don't know." Natasha Romanoff. "She came in out of the blue," Wanda explained. "I was halfway through the cleanup when the rats started popping up again. Then she joined the team and cleaned up all the mutant mice with me. When she finally saw the police car approaching, she shot the cobweb and left." Here Wanda explain. Natasha Romanoff nodded, guessing, "Maybe there's an extra ability in New York, and I'll tell Tony to use technology to find out who it is." Wanda nodded, but that was none of her business. At the moment Wanda turned her head, looked at Suyi at the side, then turned her head to Natasha Romanoff and said, "Can I go now?" Natasha Romanoff looked at Wanda, and then at Suyi who was watching a play not far away, finally said to Wanda, "It's not a small thing that happened today. It's been covered in the New York news. If possible, you'd better act with us." "But I won't force you, Wanda. You can make your choice however you want." That's all Natasha Romanoff said. Wanda also knows that something has happened. It is better for Superhero to be stable for the time being. So Wanda nodded disappointedly, looked at Suyi not far away, and said to Natasha Romanoff, "Then I'll go talk to Sue and I'll be back later." Natasha Romanoff. "No, you are Superhero, Wanda. Doesn't the status of a little girl like you look a bit like a superhero? 020. Wanda, Sue is a good man." Internet exposure. After leaving Natasha Romanoff, Wanda walked in front of Suyi, deliberately regretting with a smile on the corner of her mouth. "Sue, our Ferris wheel is gone." Looking at Wanda's affectionate gaze, Suyi could feel the expectation and enthusiasm in her heart. What she meant by this sentence, if you don't understand it, then you don't understand a woman's heart. So it doesn't matter who you are. "It's okay, I said there is a lot of time in the future. If you can't do it today, you can do it tomorrow. If you can't do it tomorrow, you can do it next week. As long as you come to me." "Yes, you have to come to me." It is impossible for Suyi to take the initiative to find Wanda. No matter how nice he said, there are still priorities. But Wanda doesn't care about that. She heard the answer she wanted. "You can take the initiative to find Suyi." So Wanda blinked her charming eyes. After winking a few times at Suyi, he said, "Then it's done, Tilda. I have to go to Natasha Romanoff to report back to the mission first. See you some other day, Tilda." After saying goodbye, Wanda turned and left, walking towards Natasha Romanoff who was looking over, and Suyi looked at Wanda's back, then nodded to Natasha Romanoff who was watching him. He turned and left. "Go back to the Ferrari, open the supercar door, and press the ignition button." Tilda. With the engine roaring, Suyi drove the car and left. Next to Wanda and Natasha Romanoff watched Suyi leave together. Then Natasha Romanoff said on the sidelines, "This gentleman looks good. I heard that in times of crisis, he still insists on supporting and encouraging you by your side." After Suyi was gone, the smile on Wanda's face gradually disappeared. She didn't even feel the change in herself, let alone her current state and so on. Wanda just hummed monotonously. Then Natasha Romanoff answered more nonchalantly, "He's a good man, Sigma." "Sigma?" Natasha Romanoff nodded on the surface, but she was puzzled in her heart. Even as an agent, she doesn't know what Sigma means. Does this word describe a man? Finally, after Natasha Romanoff and Wanda returned to the Avengers base, Natasha Romanoff found out with a smart search. This is a new internet word for the United States. Sigma refers to an independent, self-disciplined, excellent, and respect for everyone. In the beginning, this term was used to describe a lone wolf, or an otaku. But slowly it turned into a word representing excellence. Its Chinese translation is called Sigma. It is also the name of a symbol. All right. Natasha Romanoff was also curious after thinking about it. How attractive is that psychiatrist named Suyi? This captures Wanda. Do you want to go and see for yourself? What's going on? At the same time, it's 10:30 p.m., the scene where the mutated mouse happened. Although Gwen Stacy dragged Cobweb away, she didn't go far. She just watched what her father was doing when he came over from the edge of the tall building. In her gaze, George Stacy and an agent get out of the police car. Then after investigating the surrounding crowd, Wanda and Suyi also came out from the side. Then we chatted. In the end, Suyi left first, followed by Wanda and Natasha Romanoff. And his further after investigating the matter, he arranged for the police to solve these problems, and sent someone to guard the mouth of the well. Only then did he drive the police home. Gwen saw that Pop was coming home. PSST. She also immediately dragged Cobweb to go home. Then he drilled through the window to his bedroom a long time in advance. Then he immediately changed his clothes and hid himself under the covers. After a while, bang bang tilde. Gwen's door was knocked by George. Huh? Gwen snorted sleepily. It's okay, Gwen. George's voice came from the door. Let me remind you not to forget the band performance tomorrow. George left after speaking, and Gwen sat up again. She immediately went to the computer and searched for the mutant mouse incident. Scarlet Witch saves a lot of citizens. She uses powerful magic to crush all the rats. Who is she? Miss Spider? New superhero? We need to get to know you, Spider-Woman. Scarlet Witch is suspected to be in love. Hug a handsome man after the war. No. Scarlet Witch, you can't be in love, friends. Scarlet Witch is a war hero. That's why she accidentally injured the citizens before. We should be kind to her. She can destroy enemies, instead of just accidentally injuring our property like other superheroes. Everyone wake up. This must be the Scarlet Witch show. It's fake. Don't believe it. Wootilda, Gwen exclaimed as she watched. Nor did she think. A mutant mouse event. Scarlet Witch's online reviews were reversed in half. Is this due to Suyi? Gwen thought about it, and it definitely has something to do with it. But, Miss Spider? Spider-Woman? Gwen raised her delicate chin and thought for a while, then shook her head. It doesn't sound good. You should call me Ghost Spider. 021. Tony argues with Captain America. Insomnia Mrs. Wanda, also inside the Avengers base, after telling the whole incident with other superheroes. With the approval of everyone. It's already 12 o'clock in the evening, so Wanda went back to her room to rest first. And in the conference hall, Captain America, Hawkeye, Vision, Natasha Romanoff, Falcon. After seeing Wanda leave, Natasha Romanoff said first, it seems that the counseling of the psychiatrist has worked. Wanda acted alone in this incident and resolved it. Really? Captain America frowned, looked at Natasha Romanoff and confirmed, she took the initiative? Yes. Natasha Romanoff nodded in confirmation. Face this performance. Captain America nodded in approval. Hawkeye also nodded in approval. At this time, Vision and Falcon are not familiar with Wanda at all. They can only be regarded as acquaintances, so I can only nod along side by side. It seems that a psychiatrist is also very helpful to superhero. Captain America smiled and looked at everyone. Then you can go and have a look if you need it, and just ask Tony for reimbursement. He has more money than he can spend. The voice just fell. A projection is turned on in the meeting room. No, if you want to use my money, you need my approval. Tony's figure appears in the 3D projection. It was as if he was here in real life, and also easily refuted Captain America. And Captain America asked back without a wrinkle, so do I have your approval, Tony? Hearing this, Tony thought for a while, pouted and replied, maybe. This one let Captain America's face become serious in an instant. But Tony shrugged his shoulders indifferently, nodded his seat and said, okay, I didn't come here to talk about love with you. Speak the truth. After Friday's analysis, online citizens' impressions of Avengers were 26% better because of Miss Wanda's heroic performance. And the support for Wanda rose from 31% to 66% in an instant, more than doubling directly. So what I want to say is, if you guys don't want the Avengers' reputation to be as ugly online as it is in real life, then do less talking and do more, and don't wreak havoc on the city, understand? Learn to be like Miss Wanda. Just hit the target and use your brains. Maybe that's Tony's character. He was a little pretending when he said those words, so this pissed off Captain America. Captain America crossed his arms, looked at Tony and asked, you mean, we should pay attention to the safety of property when facing the enemy, not the safety of Avengers members? And we don't use our brains when we fight, don't we? Tony spread his hands, without looking at Captain America said, I didn't say that anyone would just roll up their sleeves and do it without using their brains. I also didn't say if he was holding a round shield. I mean use your brain more. Think about how to minimize the loss before doing it. As for the safety issue, I believe you will protect yourself without me telling you. Captain America was visibly annoyed. He stepped forward, trying to square off with Tony. But Tony glanced at him, swiped up and down, pointed at Captain America and said, so I don't want to say a word to a person like you who can only do it. Tony Stark. Captain America also raised his chin and said, do you think there is no reason for us to be cast aside by the citizens? It was your self-righteousness and unauthorized actions that caused the Sokovia incident. Watching the two quarrel, the other members looked at each other and thought of trying to persuade them to fight, because this has already reached the point of who is right and who is wrong, and a team cannot distinguish between right and wrong. There is only right together, wrong together, success together. or failure together. Yes, you are right. But Tony immediately looked at Captain America and nodded back. Then you can show your members a good performance. Let's see if people can trust you again under the leadership of a World War II star like you. Finished. Tony glanced at the crowd. Then just turn off the 3D projection and leave. Then there was silence in the conference hall. Boom. After half a sound, Captain America punched the seat. Disband, go back to rest, and wait for the task. Not the same as a quarrel in a conference hall. After returning to the room, Wanda began to search for news about Suyi on the internet. But it's a pity. Suyi's name is only popular among the upper class. There is basically no news about him on the internet and ordinary people. So Wanda searched and only found Suyi's name and so on. What? Top psychiatrist, #1 most handsome doctor, unknown boss, and so on. But these are enough for Wanda. She directly read all the news about Suyi. Then he went back to bed and lay down, staring at the ceiling in a daze. Yes, Suyi was still on his mind. After all, for the story before she met Suyi, basically everything was a good thing. Parents were killed by a bomb developed by the Stark Group. My younger brother died saving lives in the Ultron incident. Hometown Sokovia was also completely destroyed by Ultron. And after meeting Suyi, milk tea ... respect ... laughing ... kiss ... love. These are things Wanda has never felt before. Now her mind is full of Suyi. Whether she opens her eyes or closes her eyes, she can't even forget it. So today for Wanda, destined to be a sleepless but wonderful night. 022. Hug photos are exposed. Steven's shock. Late at night. Drive the Ferrari into the parking lot inside the building, then take the independent elevator back home. Suyi took her off his shoes, casually took a bottle of whiskey from the wine rack, and drank it while walking to the floor-to-ceiling windows. Hilda, speak the truth. While drinking, Suyi also recalled the enthusiasm in the dark corner just now. If you say you don't like that feeling, it must be false. For that short period of time, if it weren't for the ups and downs of breathing, you would even forget the passage of time. And happy to forget the time is the happiest thing. Take a look at the History Stark building. Look again at the Osborn building. Suyi took another sip of whiskey and sighed. Hero, wealth, power, ability, fame. Who is the happiest? Neither. It's happiest when it's all just a bonus for you. Doing what you want is not the greatest ability, but not doing what you don't want. Yes, this is happiness and freedom. Suyi doesn't want to be a superhero, nor does he want to be some kind of Avengers. Those are not really happy. Nor is it true freedom. Only if he can do whatever he wants, and at the same time, he can do whatever he wants is the greatest happiness and freedom. And his bottom line is not defined by anyone. It was Suyi's own self-respect and self-morality. He is the one who is absolutely self-centered. So the life that Suyi longs for is very simple. Every day of smooth and happy fishing, plus the opposite sex I like. The next day, wait until after 8 in the morning. Suyi naturally woke up on time, took a shower and went to work. As a result, he just sat there. It hasn't been long. It's only 9:10 in the morning. His own door was opened by a surgeon. Suyi was leaning on the reclining chair, with his legs crossed on the desk. His eyes were on the stereoscopic projection TV, and he asked without thinking. It's 9:10. Don't tell you to come to me at this time to have a party. Party? Definitely not. Steven entered the door, hurriedly came to Suyi's side to have a look, and said, I saw yesterday's New York report. In a photo, you are standing with superhero. Are you there in such a dangerous situation? You're not hurt, are you? Suyi nodded calmly. Yes, at the scene, but nothing happened. I slept soundly last night. Steven let out a long breath. That's good. But the next moment, Steven took out his mobile phone and showed Suyi the screenshot. But what about this picture? Suyi turned his head to look. This is all captured. Vomit tilde. It turned out to be a photo of myself and Wanda hugging together, as expected. After one night, this scene was captured by someone. Now even Steven saw it. Fortunately, the mouth at the back is in a small corner. Otherwise, now Suyi is wondering if he will be bullied by fans of Scarlet Witch. Show me. Suyi took Steven's cell phone and looked at it. In the photo, Wanda's little girl is very touching. She obviously has the body of a royal sister, but after she flung herself on Suyi's broad chest, she became a cuddly bird. But the perfect fit of the two looks like a match made in heaven. Not bad. I'm very satisfied with the shot. Suyi nodded appreciatively, returned the phone to Steven and continued to ask, are there any other photos? Gone. Steven put away his mobile phone. The others are ordinary photos, nothing to look at. But my question is, it's only been a few days? Is there a month? No wonder you don't like those ordinary girls, so you like superhero. Steven looked helpless and sighed. It seems that he should have known Suyi's goal long ago, and Suyi really wanted to refute Steven. But after thinking about it, he realized he seems to have hit other girls' ideas as soon as he arrived in the Marvel Universe. Having said that, it was really hit by Steven. This cannot be refuted. TSK, you win. Suyi opened his mouth and continued watching TV after thinking about it. But Steven wasn't done yet. After recalling the recent outrageous legends, he said to Suyi again, I don't think it's just superhero. It is possible that those gods, will be taken down by you in the future. God, It seems that there are girls in the gods. Wait, Now is not the time to think about that. No no no. Suyi stopped Steven's speculation first. Then he shook and said, I don't have that many ideas yet. I'm a random person, you know. I will not let go when I meet a really good girl. But if I don't like it, I just don't like it, and I won't fantasize about who and who. After speaking, Suyi patted Steven's shoulder and said, It's you, Christine. How are you talking about? As soon as I heard Suyi talk about Christine, Steven's complexion suddenly became subtle, florid. Because he didn't know what happened to himself and Christine. Above this kind of friendship, breaking through the estrangement that is not full of lovers is easy and simple. But it is also very difficult to say. Refer to manga. How many couples are stuck between the window papers for a lifetime? Coincidentally, Steven is like this. In Doctor Strange 2, Steven regretted his whole life because of Christine. 023. Tony's arrival. If only we had known each other sooner. Seeing Steven's constipated look, Suyi knew that there must be no clue about this matter. Definitely. He is neither a matchmaker nor a girlfriend of certain girls. So just said lightly. There are some things that cannot be explained. There are some things that you won't understand if you don't experience them. So I just have one word for you. I'd rather be wrong than do nothing. The meaning of this sentence originally is relatively positive. But it can also be used in love. And Steven thought about it, and understood the meaning of this sentence. Alright, I got it. Suyi nodded indifferently. And then it's over. This is not his love. Moreover, Suyi never took the initiative to pursue love, just quietly waiting for the time. Don't ask why. For the love of riding horses. Next, after Steven confirmed that Suyi was not injured last night, he was ready to leave first. After all, he is a top surgeon. Steven basically undergoes major surgery every day, so he doesn't have much free time, and he can't come to Suyi to hang out every day. Steven looked at the time on his watch, and then said to Suyi, I still have an operation at noon, so I have to leave first. Goodbye. Suyi also waved to Steven. But at this moment, wow, with the office door being fully opened, a man in a small suit, some kind of high-tech watch, sunglasses, and a little mustache appeared outside the door and asked, Are you counseling? Then should I wait outside, or go home and wait for news, or can I use money to jump in line? Hearing these two handsome voices appear, Suyi knew who it was without even looking. Tony has a big shit. Iron Man? And Steven also discovered that this person is Iron Man in superhero. Strictly speaking, long before Tony became Iron Man, Steven and Tony have also met, but they don't know each other. No. Hearing the words Iron Man, Tony shook his head and said, I'm not wearing armor, so I'm Tony Stark, not superhero Iron Man. Although they all mean the same thing, I hope I can chat with you as a normal person. As expected, even if Tony talks in a normal way. After hearing this, Suyi and Steven still felt that each other was a little sexy. Yes, it's a coquettish bag. Tony's words are just a little casual, which makes you feel uncomfortable when you are serious. But fortunately, Suyi and Steven are not very serious people. Steven may be after becoming Sorcerer Supreme at a later date, but Suyi has never been. Alright, Mr. Stark. Suyi motioned for Tony to come in. We are chatting, you can come in. But what I didn't expect was that I just saw a superhero yesterday, and I can see another one today. How should I say it? I am very honored. Even so, Suyi just prepared a chair for Tony. Then he thought about it. Let's add a bottle of milk tea per person. Tony looked at the milk tea on the seat and didn't drink it first, because Friday in the glasses was analyzing the cup of milk tea. So Tony straightened his clothes first and asked, Actually, I already have your business card, but I didn't expect to see you today. But I want to ask, counting me now, how many superheroes do you know? It's not easy. Wanda from yesterday, Tony from now, and Banner from before. Just these three. So Suyi took out the photo of him and Hulk and showed it to Tony. 3, and Bruce Banner. Wow. Tony picked up the photo of Suyi and Hulk and looked at it carefully and said, This photo is very good. I have never had such a photo with Hulk. Well, the main thing is not daring. I am a normal person. And you are also a normal person. But you did it. The other side. After seeing Suyi also knew a superhero, Steven was stunned. You actually know one? Why do you know so many superheroes without saying a word? And Suyi felt his thoughts. So he shrugged at Steven. He was a client first, then a friend. The other side. After Tony put the photo down, he looked at Suyi, then at Steven and said, The best psychologist in the United States. The top surgeon in the United States. I should have known you sooner. That way I wouldn't have the anxiety attacks I used to have, and the heart shrapnel that brought me back to life. Tony said so. Suyi and Steven looked at each other. It really is. Those two mistakes Tony made before, the two of them can really solve it. But Suyi took a sip of the milk tea and replied, What about now? I can feel your motivation for coming to me. 2 became Bruce Banner, 2 became Avengers, 2 became myself, and 4 became curiosity. In Tony's surprised eyes, Suyi spat out the last 2 words. Is it right? 024. Shocked Tony. Is this milk tea for sale? Exclamation mark. In Tony's shrinking pupils, Suyi said something that shocked Tony. After hearing these few words, Tony sat up straight, straightened his clothes, then looked at Suyi and stretched out his hand. Tony Stark. It seems that I overestimated my heart too much. Suyi stretched out his hand with the same smile. Suyi, a psychiatrist with a bit of a personality. Well, features. At the same time, anyway, Stephen will become Sorcerer Supreme in the future. So Suyi asked everyone to introduce themselves. Stephen Strange, a surgeon. That's all. After everyone has introduced each other, Stephen knew that Tony and Stark's main purpose was to find Suyi. It has nothing to do with him. And it's time for surgery. So Stephen said goodbye first. I have an operation at noon, so I have to go first. Suyi nodded. Bon voyage. Tony also waved his hand and said, then I wish you a smooth operation, Doctor. That's all. Stephen leaves. Suyi and Tony's business has just officially started. But Suyi didn't tell Tony the price. No need. This forced money definitely will not intentionally raise prices to rip people off. It's just that he didn't have to say a reminder. Okay, we can talk slowly, but where do you think we should start? After Stephen left, Tony took off his sunglasses and looked at Suyi. And Suyi took a sip of milk tea and said simply, let's start with the order just now. First point, Bruce Banner. Tony nodded, motioning for Suyi to continue. Bruce Banner's message is simple. That is, I don't know either. The last time we met and chatted dates back to the end of last year. That is to say, we haven't seen each other for several months. But I saw in the news that Banner participated in the Sokovia operation. It stands to reason that you are the ones who know best. So where is he now? Suyi finished speaking. Tony was silent for a while. Then he said out of breath, well, actually I don't know either. After the Sokovia battle, the Hulk and a Kunkun battle just disappeared at the same time. We searched for a long time, but still found nothing. With the power of Tony technology, it is not difficult to find a person on Earth. So if you really can't find it, there is only one answer. Hulk went to space on a Quinjet. Face this answer. Tony sighed, closed his eyes and nodded. Apparently he thought so too. Then the second question. The Avengers issue in your mind is obviously not something I should discuss. You're worrying about what you're going to do with the Avengers, right? Hear this sentence. Tony took another unexpected look at Suyi, nodded in admiration and said, yes, Avengers' internal issues do not require outsiders to consider. There is no need for Suyi to think about it for others. So this second question, it's Tony's problem with Avengers. Instead of Suyi going to discuss the Avengers issue, this is two different things. Suyi thought for a while, then shook his head and said, the problem of Avengers cannot be solved overnight. Your existence and non-existence will be discussed, because there are too many people in this world, everyone has their own thoughts and emotions, and it is impossible for you to take care of everyone. So, if you want to force a change in the Avengers to change the status quo, that's not going to happen. You can only go with the flow, see the right moment, and then make a change. And this requires waiting and accumulating strength. So he is a psychiatrist. But he's not the kind of psychiatrist who talks empty words. Psychological problems are basically caused by the plight of reality. Therefore, it is the best medicine for psychological counseling that can help solve the real dilemma. And Tony put on his sunglasses and thought about it. At the same time, Friday is also doing calculations for Tony. The sound of the headset came to Tony's ears. Sir, through analysis, the probability that the Avengers can change the status quo immediately is 0.16%. According to Dr. Sue's guidance, do less and make fewer mistakes now, do more and make more mistakes, and if you don't do it, you won't make mistakes. Sir, it means that you need to continue to upgrade the armor until there is a chance to change. Friday's voice is actually a relatively cold one, and the data and answers it analyzes are more realistic. Just tell Tony not to move. Just upgrade the armor and wait for the opportunity. After getting Friday's analysis, Tony took off his sunglasses and put them on the stand again. Then he leaned back on the chair and said, while picking up the milk tea on the table, well, it seems that there are still times when I can't work hard even if I want to. Finish this sentence. Tony shook his head helplessly while drinking milk tea, and Suyi didn't talk nonsense. Continue directly. Then the third question, etc. At this time, Suyi's words were interrupted by Tony. At the moment Tony was looking at the milk tea with wide eyes, and then he took another sip and said to Suyi, what's this called? Milk tea? Is there a recipe, or is it for sale? I'm confident it will replace 30% of the United States total coffee share within a year. Suyi. Tony. What the hell are you? 025. Wipe your mouth in a suit. Is this egg fried rice for sale? Exclamation mark. Tony was worthy of being a businessman before. The two had a good chat. As soon as he drinks milk tea, he can immediately think of the benefits it can bring. And Wanda and Gwen had a drink. It just feels very good to drink. I didn't even think about how to use it to make money and how much money I made. Definitely. Tony actually doesn't like the money the milk tea makes, even if these milk teas can bring in hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. But this is compared with Tony's clean energy from cold fusion. What is a few $100 million? He doesn't know how many times the total value of this milk tea can be earned from a box of arc reactor. So Tony's idea is, this milk tea is delicious. If only I could drink it every day, like the hamburger stand under the Stark building. Do you think he is a mobile booth? No, because Tony loves to eat. So the stall owner also knows that money is worthless. But Suyi thought about it. If you can spread milk tea in the United States, and squeeze the living space of coffee, and see the upper class people in the United States not serving coffee and milk tea, it seems to be quite fun. Think about it this way. My own milk tea formula is not miraculous. It's just good to drink. That's nothing to treasure. So Suyi nodded, opened the drawer, took out the milk tea recipe and threw it to Tony. Take it. I'll take 30% of the profit, and I don't care about the rest. Tony took over the milk tea recipe. Then put on your sunglasses and scan it, and stuff the formula into your clothes. No problem. Tony doesn't care how much money the milk tea can make. It doesn't lose money anyway. Suyi doesn't care how much money this milk tea can make. Anyway, he just wants to have fun. So the business suddenly became extremely easy to do. Just 2 sentences. Next, Tony continued, we can continue talking. Suyi was just about to talk about the third question, but he looked at the time and realized that it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. What does this mean? Business belongs to business, and show off belongs to show off. People are like iron, and food is like steel. If you don't eat a meal, you will be hungry. So Suyi snapped his fingers. It's dinner time. I think we should have a meal. Tony felt it now. The feeling of being interrupted and delayed just now. Okay. Tony sat up, raised his watch and started contacting. I asked Pepper to prepare the food on time for the armor to deliver, and then we continued to talk about how guaranteed luxury, Boston lobster, or estate wine, Michelin chef's main meal, etc. Good guy. The iron and steel armor in the billions is delivering food. Really have your Tony. But Suyi shook his head, stood up and walked to other rooms and said, forget it. Eat the egg fried rice I prepared. Eat what you prepared. Tony was taken aback, and spread his hands together. The food you prepared is as delicious as I said. The food you prepared has. Tony didn't finish his sentence. So you brought out 2 covered plates from the next room. It's not really any other food. This is the delicious fried rice that Suyi drew in a lottery. This thing has been in his space for many days. Don't eat for nothing. And Tony was even more shocked when he saw the food brought out by Suyi. You don't eat luxury food. You let me eat instant food with you? No wonder Tony thinks fried rice with eggs is an instant product. After all, it came out so quickly. And Suyi didn't eat good things. Going to eat this with Tony instead. This is what Tony can't understand. But Suyi put down the plate. He returned to his seat and prepared to eat while talking without looking back. If you don't eat it, then I will eat it myself. Tony looked at the egg fried rice in front of him. Finally he sat down as if resigned to his fate. Then let me, Tony Stark, see how it is. If it doesn't taste good, I'll buy your building and raise your rent. Finished. Suyi and Tony picked up the tableware and ate together. This egg fried rice looks ordinary, but inside it's like being enchanted. Enter the mouth with the rice grains wrapped in egg flour. A sense of satisfaction and refreshing taste will sweep your brain instantly. It's as if your instinct will force you to stuff your mouth with this egg fried rice. But Suyi definitely ate bite by bite. Gulu tilde. But he heard it the next moment. Why do some people gobble it up? Who? It's not Tony's big shit, is it? No way, no way. Suyi turned his head and saw that Tony was picking up eggs and fried rice with utensils. His face was almost buried in the rice plate. Nothing invisible at all. How does this look like a superhero and a billionaire? Suyi smiled and turned back to continue eating. But less than a minute later, he saw Tony wipe his mouth with the sleeve of a suit worth tens of thousands of dollars. Then he looked at Suyi and nodded seriously. What's this called? Egg fried rice? Is there a recipe, or is it for sale? I am confident that it will replace 50% of the United States' total fast food share within a year. Suyi. Where did he hear this sentence? Oh, can't it be just now? If you like this audiobook, subscribe the channel for more videos like this. And join my Patreon if you want to support me, link in the description. Leave some comment and let me know if you guys like this story, or you have a web novel you like and want to hear its audiobook. I will be happy to create them for you. Please like, share, and leave a comment on the video.